And I am recording. So it's okay because you are recording and I am recording.
I am recording.
There we go. Just need to do some video links now. Video links. Half of it's done. I don't know.
I mean, eventually we'll need video links, but not right away.
I know. Skippity doo dah, that's what you gotta do.
You can start whenever, but because me and Tara went in separate cars, so
cool.
when she comes back,
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna go.
Yeah, it's cool. We're live. I'm recording. I'm ready to go whenever y'all are.
Just let me just do this. Put that on that. Yeah, just give me 1 sec. I'll just do the other videos. And then we're ready to go.
And then the other guy was like, yeah, well, my pet grasshopper had diarrhea for 7 weeks. And I was like, okay, I'm not trying to get in a competition about whose pet insect had more diarrhea.
Well, when my mate told me he was going on a pegging holiday, I thought he meant camping. How wrong could he have been?
I'll say something random. Fish is eating bananas. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
All right, then.
I will be 1 second. I'm
not
assuming
in a
if you
rush,
got,
man.
I
It's
don't need
all
to do a
good.
link for Robin Hood, do I? Because you've done that
It's
already.
all up there.
I
It's
don't need
ready
to do
go
that
right there.
shit.
You don't need to do it. It's ready.
No. Right. I'm there. Let me look. I bet people will be listening to this, I guess. I don't know.
Well, according to this, there are 2 of them, and one of them is James Bevan, who says, Chinny looks like he's in a sauna, lol.
Yo,
I think
James.
that's what it says. The heart is covering up the...
How are you? Jimmy? Jimmy. Did anyone ever call you Jimmy? That's a question, isn't it?
Is it?
No, yeah, because Jimmy's short for James. I don't know how it's short, though, because it's longer. Yeah, Jimmy's like the short for James name, but then it's longer than James. It don't make any sense.
Next, you'll tell me that Stu is short for Stuart.
It is. That's true. That's true. I mean...
And Mike is short for Michael.
It is. The best one in this country is Dick. He's short for Richard.
Which is short for Richard.
Richard. Yes. There you go.
Yes.
Names
are bizarre.
Names are bizarre. Right.
But as Hess says in Fortunato 7, it is important to say a name correctly. Oops! Spoilers for the new book! Ah!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, he still got the wrong number on Chinny Half set it up, didn't he?
Wrong number on what?
Says 756. Yeah.
I think it'll be okay.
I think it'll be okay. Right, shall we start then?
Why not?
Oh, so he doesn't get called Jimmy or Jim.
Nope.
So there you go. I know, it happened, used to happen.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Like anybody fucking gives a shit.
Welcome, yo, to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that we play this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Kiss my big Springfield behind Shelby.
It's the veteran gamers.
Kiss my big Springfield behind Shelbyville.
It's the veteran gamers.
Kiss my big Springfield behind Shelbyville.
She's got a new hat.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Perfectly level flying is the supreme challenge of the scale model pilot.
Hello and welcome to episode 757 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 757, baby! What's up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And Chinny is away from the mic just for the moment, but don't worry, kids, he'll be back. The more important point is we are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle. So if you've served in the military, thank you for your service. We are not going to be talking about that.
No, we're not. Can I just say, is 757 a type of aeroplane, or is that just, yeah? Is that,
Let's see what happens when we ask Google about 757. Yes, there is a Boeing 757, which is a narrow body airliner that sometimes falls apart.
Yeah, there is.
Boeing sucks. Did you hear there's people on the space station who are like, we're not coming back because the Boeing shuttle that's supposed to take us back to Earth is all messed up? How much does that suck to have a layover in a space station?
I was just saying today, we were trying to work it out. I don't know. I could have Googled it. I guess I didn't bother.
Always start with Google.
Don't know how I got onto the subject, but we were talking about DC-10s. Do you remember DC-10s?
Yeah, there's another plane.
They were terrible things. They just crashed all the time. And I'm like, were they made by Boeing? I don't know. I didn't look it up.
No, that was a McDonnell Douglas plane, apparently.
Oh, awful things. They just had problems. They crashed. Loads of people got killed. And there was another one.
According to the lead of the Wikipedia article, yes, early operations of the DC-10 were afflicted by its poor safety record.
Awful things. And then there was a plane called a TriStar. And it had an engine on the tail somewhere, I don't know.
The end of that paragraph says, as design flaws were rectified and fleet hours increased, the DC-10 achieved a long-term safety record comparable to those of similar era passenger jets. So the DC-10 apparently was no more likely to crash than any other passenger jet at the time.
Yeah, you say that, but then the trouble is, once it's crashed 4 or 5 times at the beginning of its lifespan, that's all people remember. They don't remember that it was like safe for the rest of the time. All they remember is like, I ain't got on a DC-10. They crashed.
Well, apparently a lot of people did because it wasn't retired until 2014. So it had like 40 years of relatively good safety records. And I would say the facts are what's most important. And yes, you're right that the population will be nervous, but you know, I think as intelligent humans, we ought to focus on facts, not just a couple of things that happen that might be anomalies. But that's just me. What can I say?
I guess, but how many times did it crash? How many crashes did the DC-10 have?
I'm not looking up actual numbers. I'm not. You can look it up if you want. I have something that's more important to talk about. It's only 2 days until Once Human comes out.
I know, you know.
I'm so excited.
I saw this and thought about you because I saw, it's coming out very soon. It's
coming out Tuesday, day after tomorrow.
But there is something else we need to talk about, and Chinny needs to be involved in this, but he isn't here.
Well, then they can wait until he gets back. Let me say this then.
Well, it can, but we can establish where we are with you to begin with and then find out where we are with him.
Okay, go ahead.
We might have to record the podcast on a different night next
Well, it's not going to be on Tuesday night because I'm going to be busy playing Once Human.
Well, that's quite good.
Why do we got to do a different night?
Possibly a week on Monday because you're still not back at school, are you? So that will be fine for time.
I'm not back till September.
That's fine. Because England won the quarter-final match, so they're in the semi-finals on Wednesday. And
sorry, is that bowling?
And bowling, yeah. And if they win...
Curling?
No. Football.
What sport?
Football.
Football, okay. I don't know. There's a lot of sports y'all play. Cricket,
it's a
water
European,
polo.
It's a European Cup, so it's like it's
okay.
next to the World
EC.
Cup. You know? Yeah, European Cup.
Yeah.
And if they win on Wednesday, the finals at 8 o'clock on Sunday. So,
dude, final 8 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah. So
in other good news, the fucking Tories got voted out.
Yeah, they did.
There's a party reason right there. What?
Here's the interesting fact about the election.
What kind of good news over there?
We're not going to get into too much about politics, but
That's
here's
fine.
the interesting fact. Labour had no more support than they did in 2019. So
Woo, no more support than they had in 2019. Conservatives staying home.
Yeah, well, he won't.
I don't care how it works. However, as long as the conservatives are gone, that's good.
Oh, yeah, there is that. So what they did was vote for other parties instead of conservatives. So
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so that's what
great.
happened. They
hey, as long as they do some, are they going to start restoring some funding to the NHS? I hope.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully, you never know. You never know.
That's that. I would vote for that, but I'm not over there, so I don't get to vote for it.
Funding helps. Funding helps, but if you've got to find these people from somewhere, you know, all these extra staff they're going to get. Where are they coming? Where are they coming from? Are they going to magic them
Yeah,
out their ass?
if you
Magic
offer
arse?
the money, they will show up. It's funny how that happens. In
I'm
our
gonna
district,
poop 'em-
they had
poop 'em
trouble
out my
hiring people,
arse.
and then they raised the base salary, and suddenly had a lot more people applying. So
They are, but
it
these-
can't hurt to start with that.
These are specialist people, so they're not. We haven't got enough now. We're not going to have enough then either. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Anyway,
happens.
in other news,
Yeah.
almost as exciting as Once Human coming out on Tuesday.
Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary!
It's my anniversary!
How
Yay!
many years?
I guess
How
that's
many years, dude? How many
17 years of marriage, 6 years
Wow, that's
together
pretty good.
before that. So
Wow, that's pretty
yeah,
good.
it's been a minute.
Pretty
It was funny.
good.
The Duchess was getting her hair did, and she was talking to the lady doing her hair, and she
Did.
goes, and she was talking about, yeah, it's my anniversary on Sunday, and it's a Saturday. She's getting her hair did, and the lady was like, oh, and your husband likes it short, right? She got it real short. She had a little bit up here, but the back is all shaved, and it's awesome. Anyway, so she goes, how long you been married? And she's like, oh, 17 years. And she goes, wow, and you still love him?
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, you know. And I said, you should have said barely.
Yeah, maybe. It's my
Yeah,
30th,
kinda.
30th this year, dude.
Wow, that's awesome. When's your
30
anniversary?
years.
What's your date?
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Okay, that's easy to
24th of
remember.
December. Yeah, it is.
I made a
Why do you think I
joke
did
on
it? Why do you think
Facebook.
we did it?
Well, yeah, that's why we had to do 7707 because I have a terrible memory. And so on the Facebook, the Duchess wrote, you know, a very sweet post. It was all maths. 7707 plus 14 plus 6 beforehand equals much, you know, heart sign. And I posted, oh crap, is that today?
Exactly.
So she
Exactly, I
thought that
like
was
it.
very funny, and my mom thought it was funny too. So, yeah. So anyway,
That's because you're a funny guy, dude. You're a funny guy.
yes, I am. As the mushroom said when he got kicked out of the bar. Come on, I'm a fun guy.
Yeah, fun guy. So Chini, by the
So
way, we should clarify. Chini isn't here, but he is here. He's not here, but he is
Well,
here.
he's going to be right back. He had to go deal with the baby, and he'll be back in a moment. So
Doing stuff.
don't panic, people.
He's gonna be. He went out for a
You've
day.
been on
He-
holiday for a
he's
week.
Slacker went off for a day, and then he
Yes.
don't get back on time. What
Meanwhile,
are you gonna do?
you were off this week. So what did you
I
do?
was. We went to Anglesey, which is the top end of
Oh,
Wales,
snap.
and the weather was a bit iffy. It wasn't ideal.
Okay.
To be fair, it wasn't ideal.
My favorite time. It's story time.
Story time.
But here's the thing, dude. Right, we stopped in an Airbnb, right, and we was like, it'll be all right. Nice little cottage on a nice little country
Sure.
lane.
Yeah.
We stupidly, I mean, this is probably a bit of our own fault, really, but we picked.
Uh-oh.
It looked really nice, but it was dog friendly, right? We haven't got a dog.
Yeah. So which
we
meant
ain't
there
got
was dander and hair everywhere.
No, there wasn't. It did smell though. It smelled a wet dog, which isn't a
Oh,
good start.
jeez.
But
A
it
lovely
got
romantic
it
spot.
got slightly worse though because it had lovely
Oh,
decking.
was there shit on the
Hey.
on the sheets?
It had dick. It had a big dick at the back, so it had a two-level decking area at the back where you could sit
Yes.
out. Now,
Yes.
as it happened, it wasn't a major issue because obviously the weather wasn't really nice enough to be sat outside. So I guess,
But
you
it still
know,
has to be the story that leads the story to. Go ahead.
But
A minor issue.
on the first day we arrived there, went out to have a look at it, even though it was raining. It's like, oh, I wonder what the decking's
Yes.
like. Let's go and have it.
Yes.
4 lots of dog shit on it. 4 lots, not just one,
Oh,
not just 2, but 4 separate lots
that's
of
nasty, man.
Which,
So let me. So then, okay,
Oh.
you're staying at an Airbnb. At the end
Yeah.
of the stay, you give a 0 through 5 star rating. Is that correct?
we haven't
I've
done
never
it yet. We haven't
Airbnb.
done it. But here's the funny thing.
But here's the question is, if all other things being equal, if you would give it 5 stars, but they got all that dog shit on the dick,
Yeah.
what does that drop it to? 4, 3? Does that
It's
make it a
going
1 star?
well. You see, here's the thing, right? We'd have still been quite
what's the thing?
kind. We'd have been quite kind.
Uh-huh.
But we messaged the woman, went, everything okay? So I went, well, apart from the dog poo on the decking, it's
Yeah, that's
fine.
a pretty
kind of
significant
fine.
thing. Yeah, nasty. Clean up
Now,
after
what-
your nasty ass dog.
Exactly. If you was the woman who owned this place, what would you have done at this point? If like, oh shit, there's dog shit on the decking.
Well, I'd look, if I'm going to I'd be a terrible Airbnb host because I would be obsessing over everything. And if
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
live really close, then I'd be getting someone nearby to be like, go clean up the
Correct.
dog. I totally forgot.
Of course you would. No, what she did was have a go at the housekeeper who should have done it, and that was it. She just went, I pay her well. I pay her well.
And she didn't
for-
do it, so sucks to be you. Did she
Yeah,
knock
but-
some money off if you dealt with it?
No,
or-
Didn't do anything. We didn't
Wow.
even
Because
touch
that's the
it,
easiest
like-
thing to do. Is like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me take
Yeah,
$20 off, and
I ain't touching someone else's shit. I'm like, nah, we
you
don't,
don't have
have
to
a dog
touch it.
for
You
that.
get a hose and
No,
just.
but we don't have a dog for that very purpose. We don't have a dog because we don't want to
hear
pick
ya.
shit
I don't
up,
like
right?
cleaning up dog poop
Picking
during
someone
my
else's
holiday.
shit up. But anyway,
Sure.
apart from that, we had a
Anyway.
nice time.
I'm glad to hear it.
We had a nice time.
We had a nice time at
Yeah.
the Catfish Festival here.
What?
There was no cat. I don't know why it's called the Catfish Festival, but anyway, in the next town over, they have this festival. The Duchess got a shirt. I don't have the logo, but whatever. And there was a band. We went to see. You know, there was this guy who sang. He's like a folk singer. He was pretty good. I had listened to him beforehand just to see what it was going to be like. And they had like food carts, and it was just an outdoor community gathering. It was pretty cool. But there were two interesting booths selling things. One was a guy named Brian Simpson, and he had a banner that said Brian Simpson, author, and it was a drawing of him as a Simpson, you know, one of the Simpsons.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, that's copyright infringement." He's like, "Dude, it's my fucking name. What do you want, man?" So whatever. We got to talking, and I was like, "Oh, you know, I write," and he writes, and all this stuff. And he was telling me about his books and stuff, trying to sell me this book and that book. And he was like, "Yeah, this one's like horror, but you know, I work in some of the Christian themes." And I'm like, I didn't say it at the time because I was being all friendly and nice, but I was just like, dude, you're trying to work Christian themes into your fiction. Like, that can be done well. Like C.S. Lewis knew how to do it right. But I don't know if he'd start out a discussion talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's best to leave that stuff in the background. But whatever. He seemed like a cool dude, and I bought one of his books because, you know, I always want to support people. I wish I brought one of mine because then you just do a swap, and it doesn't have to be like I give you money and then you should buy one of mine later. I gave him my website, but whatever. Anyway, at the next booth that I went to, I read the first 2 pages. It's a good start. He knows how to turn a sentence. There's a little bit of redundancy. Like he said, the dude backed up and then he touched the cold stone on the wall behind him, which was cold and stone. And I was like, okay, clearly you didn't, you know, the Duchess said, well, he doesn't have as awesome a proofreader as you do. And I was like, that's right, he doesn't.
Obviously.
But whatever, you know, it's, I don't like to judge things too harsh.
Yes, he established the stone was cold though, at least.
He did establish that. And, you know, for the most part, like the opening was interesting. He got my attention. It's an intriguing start. And then he kind of backed up. He's got a little bit of a meta narrator. It's kind of like, you know, I bet you wonder how I got into this situation, which I'm not crazy about that technique, but you know, it's early. I'm not judging it. But right now I got in the mail recently a copy of The Invincible by Stanislaw Lem, which he's a Polish science fiction writer. And that's the book that the video game is based on.
Oh,
The Invincible.
It's in the sale on Steam sales, and but it's still, I think it's like 15 quid still.
Well, see, that's the thing. Sometimes the longer you wait, the cheaper it gets.
Yeah, but it's never super cheap. It's been on sale quite a few times now, and it's always about the same amount off. So
yeah, because it probably only came out less than a year ago, right?
No, it's been out quite a while, I think, but you could be right.
You find out. So anyway, Stanislaw Lem, he's one of my favorite science fiction writers. He's really cool, and I'm into the story so far. I'm only on page 13, but the crazy thing is that on page 11, there's 2 crew members of this ship called the Invincible. One is named Jordan, and one is named Blank. All right, Jordan and Blank. There's the woman who's the secretary at our school is named Jordan Blank.
What
kind of coincidence is that, dude? Holy shit!
That is mental.
So I was reading that. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
You are right. By the way, it came out on the 6th of November, 2023. I feel like
so it's less than
yeah, I feel like it's been longer than that, but it obviously isn't.
So maybe the winter sale, it'll be even cheaper. However, the other thing that I bought, in addition to this book, The Invincible, I also bought a Blank book, which I usually don't buy. But I went by this booth at the Catfish Festival, and I got this. Look at that Blank book. Tell me that's not the coolest Blank book you've ever seen in your life. It's got like a butterfly on the front. It's got moons and flowers, and like it's so beautiful, and it's all bound in leather. It's got this awesome mechanism for opening it with a little hook that goes through the eyelet, and then you pull it open, and it's just, I mean, this is, I just couldn't say no to this really cool Blank book.
It is quite cool. It is quite cool. I'm looking at it now, obviously. It's
the problem with big fancy Blank books is that, and Natalie Goldberg talks about this in her book, Writing Down the Bones. She says you should buy the cheapest notebooks you can find, because if you buy a fancy Blank book, then you're going to be intimidated and you're going to, find it difficult to write in this book because you're not going to be able to put words in it that are as awesome as the cover is, right? Which is true. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this book. I thought about putting video game notes in it, but I'm already using this Simpsons journal that a friend of mine gave me. And it took me 2.5 years to get about halfway through it. And so I wrote at the end of the book, summer of 2027. That's probably where you are, according to the maths. So I don't know, whatever. We'll see. I'll find a use for it. And if not, I'll just have a cool blank book that's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I like it. It does look nice. It looks nice. I like the Simpsons book as well, though, to be fair.
Yeah, this is a classic.
Simpsons
Homer,
are cool.
right on the cover.
Simpsons are cool.
That's right.
So, shall we?
Okay, well, we've had our story time.
Yeah, shall we
still no Chinny yet.
He's not here. Shall we get into it? I mean, it's been 20 minutes. 20 minutes. But
I suppose we should talk about what we've been playing.
Yeah, we should.
Where is it? What we've been playing?
What are you doing?
Where are you going? Story time's over.
What you been playing?
Yeah.
Guard your ears!
Oh, Juras. Well, I guess you should go first because you got way more
I
on your list
guess I
than
should
do.
go first.
Yeah, you should.
So one thing that I've been playing is No Man's Sky, and it's fine that Chinny's not here to put it up because there's nothing really to talk about except, God damn, this game is, it really is on the level of like Skyrim and Minecraft in terms of like start it up and let's start over, because they have an expedition going right now called Adrift, and I don't know how exactly it works, but there's no other life forms, right? You're just in a universe and there's no life forms. So that's an interesting twist. I sat down intending to do that, but then I started playing and I was just like, no, I just want to start up the normal way. And all week, every time I sat down to play games, I was like, I'm just going to play some more No Man's Sky. And then like hours and hours and hours. Steam keeps track of how many in the last week, right?
Yeah.
Playtime, well, no. Total, I have 200 hours, but it doesn't say how many hours in the last week. But it's been a few. It's been a pretty few hours. Oh yeah, last 2 weeks, 30 hours. So that's probably in the last, maybe, whatever. It's been at least 20 hours in the last week that I played No Man's Sky. Because it's just so well done. They keep tweaking it and changing it. And, the thing is also that when you get better at it, the first time I played it, a lot of things were confusing. So I was just like, I think I know what I'm doing here. I'm doing this over there. But the more you go through it, the easier it gets. And I'll say this about No Man's Sky too. Like, as much as I love the game, the story is okay. The way the story is told is not great. Because it's a lot of like, go talk to this holo terminal, talk to this person through your starship speaker, and go find a Gek cartographer, go do this, go do that. And of course, the story is designed to like move you through the different parts of the game, which is fine. But as a mechanic for telling a story, it's not great. So that's my one sort of gripe with No Man's Sky.
I don't think it ever was, though. That's the problem, isn't it, with No Man's Sky? I mean, when this thing came out, it was so bare bones. Everyone was just like, what is this? Because obviously we saw all the great trailers for it and gameplay footage and all this. You can like take off from a planet and then you're in space and then you can go to another.
Yeah. And those things remain the gold standard.
Galaxy.
Right. Yeah. Like other games that have interplanetary travel, they just don't come close. Every time when I play Starfield, I'm like, this is fine, this is good, but it's not nearly as satisfying as No Man's Sky. Like it has become, and I think to be fair, when it dropped, when it first launched, that part of it was awesome. It was very well done. It's just that they had not delivered on a lot of other promises that they had made, which
definitely
they fixed a lot of that stuff.
I do also think that Mass Effect did it better than Starfield. I mean, it was just one star map, and you just click on a place, and off you go.
Sure,
Starfield
which
made
is
it
fine.
Just so complicated for no good reason. It was not great.
I mean, they've got systems and then planets within systems, and it's not as elegant as No Man's Sky. I think, again, No Man's Sky has set the gold standard, and presumably, well, I don't know, maybe Starfield already had their system in place when No Man's Sky came out or not. Who knows? The point is, if anybody starts making a space game today, you need to copy No Man's Sky in that regard, because they've Yeah, they've done
They've
it
got
right,
that
and
shit
everybody
down,
has no
haven't
reason
they?
to do it
They've got
differently.
that
They
shit
really got
down.
it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a big part of my week, and the other part of my week, in terms of action games, has been Far Cry 6.
Okay.
I started playing this last week, and I continued playing it this week. It's funny because I was trying to figure out something. Oh yeah, I was trying to see if you could get more ammo capacity, because I think you have like 120 assault rifle bullets, and you remember in other Far Cry games you hunt, skunks and alligators or whatever, and eventually you can craft pouches to carry more ammo, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this game, I don't think you can, because all the things I came across were like, you can get a bigger magazine for your rifle, but I didn't see anything about like actually increasing how much ammo you carry, which is stupid, but that's not the point. The point is I was looking up I was looking for information about that, and I found something that was about Far Cry 6, and it said, Ubisoft's latest open world game makes you a nearly invincible guerrilla fighting against a dictator, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nearly invincible? Get the fuck out of here. I know Chinny said that he and Marsh always hop in a chopper and just kill everybody from the sky. And I guess if you do that, then you are nearly invincible. But that's not how I like to play these games. I like being on foot. And let me tell you something, I am not nearly invincible in this game. I keep getting killed and downed. And it's a lot of fun, but it can be tricky at times, mostly because I'm not good at stealth. So I go running into places and suddenly there's 30 enemies all around me and I get killed. Maybe I shouldn't be racing into control points like that.
Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe you should be, I don't know, planning your line of attack before you start off. Maybe you should be doing that.
Maybe. And I am starting to do that a little more. And, you got a cell phone that can tag enemies. And then so one of the things that you do eventually, after like 2 hours of gameplay, is you unlock this like guerrilla checkpoint, and you can... First of all, it takes you into third person point of view. And I was like, wait, what button did I push? Oh no. And I went looking in the menu to figure out how do you get back to first person POV. And I couldn't find it. I'm just like, damn it, I hate third person. And so I went looking online, and the article said, it's not an option. It's something that just happens when you get to the guerrilla camp. Like,
why?
For some reason, when you're in, I don't know. It's so bizarre.
There must be a design choice for that to happen. It's not.
I assume it was, but
must
I
be
don't
a
know what they
reason.
were thinking. Just search me.
I mean, the fact you don't know is kind of funny, because it's like you're playing the game and you've no idea what the benefit or positive, negative of suddenly being in third person.
the one thing I can figure is that you like build certain buildings in the camp, but there are not very many of them. So the idea of like, I'm going to choose where, and I don't think you choose where it goes. It just feels like a way of doing something a little different, like to let you know that you're in one of these camps or something. I don't know. It's just silly.
It's like
so as soon as you leave, it goes back to first person.
I mean, this is Ubisoft as well, I guess, but it's when like Assassin's Creed, I can't remember which one it was. Was it Unity? I feel like it was Unity. When they introduced the tower defense thing. Where you got you had all your allies. No, it wasn't Brotherhood, because I like Brotherhood. Okay. I didn't like Unity.
Okay.
I think it was. I'm almost sure it was Unity. And you had to set them all up while all these enemies were coming down the middle of the road, and it would take them all out. I don't know. It was just such a weird design choice. And
apparently, it was Revelations.
Oh, Revelations! I knew it was one of those. I couldn't remember which one it was, but I knew it wasn't Brotherhood because that was a good one. That and obviously Assassin's Creed 2 were the best too. But yeah, they just introduced this weird mechanic that everybody hated, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? No one wants to do this. What are you doing, man?
Again, I think it's because reviewers are so nasty if a game doesn't have enough new stuff, and so developers are like, just throw everything in there. Like this Far Cry 6 has fishing. It's like, who asked for nobody asked for fishing.
I've got this idea.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, you just meant that was one of the developers.
Yeah.
So the only good thing about
one
of the only good things about the fishing is that when you go fishing, your little amigo, your crocodile friend, will like swim around in the water while you're fishing, which is kind of interesting in an aesthetics sense. But it doesn't make sense that I would be catching fish while there's a crocodile swimming nearby, because those fish are not going anywhere near that croc. Let me tell you what.
No, you might get eaten while you're fishing, which is probably a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. But he's your friend, so he's your companion. He's not going to eat you.
Oh, I see. This is the one where you've got a friendly crocodile, which makes no sense.
That's right. But I have a new amigo right now named Chorizo, who is a little wiener dog. So it makes sense that he'd be named Chorizo because, Spanish for sausage.
Yeah, did you name him that, or was that his name?
No, all the amigos already had their names.
Okay.
And he's got like busted up hind legs, so he's got a little cart with the wheels on it.
Okay.
And you have to do a fetch quest for him. It's actually called Fetch Quest because it's like fetching. You're fetching for the dog rather than the dog fetching for you.
I get that.
It's very funny.
Anyway,
hi, welcome back, Shinny. We're talking about Far Cry 6.
Hello.
Are you some sort of weird Dr. Doolittle going? Like, what is going on here?
People give you, like, people have animals. So the first gorilla team you fight with, they give you the crocodile as a companion. And then the second gorilla camp you go to, somebody has this little dog with the busted up legs in the cart. And so if you do a quest for him, then he'll become your amigo. And it's funny because the crocodile, you can obviously sick on the enemies, like go eat that guy's throat, and he goes and fucks up the soldier that you point to. Chorizo, he'll apparently, the description, I haven't done this yet because I haven't had him as a companion for very long, but he'll like distract the enemy with his cuteness, and then you can do a sneak attack or something. So I think that's a pretty funny twist on the whole companion thing.
Wow.
I've just heard a little bit of the show, and I've decided I'm just going to stay downstairs.
Well, maybe you should.
No, come back upstairs.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Talking about No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So anyway, Far Cry 6 is good. I'm having fun with it. There's one part in the Guerrilla Camp where you're like managing Bandito operations. So again, it's this thing that every game has now where they have it in No Man's Sky where it's like send your fleet on an expedition and they'll bring back money and this and that. It's if you want to be managing a crew that's doing stuff that you can't see but you benefit from.
Well, that's in Assassin's. That happened in Assassin's Creed as well, didn't it?
Right. There's in a lot of games, and it's just like
a lot of Ubisoft. It's a Ubisoft thing, to be fair. I think more than any.
But it's, as I said, it's in No Man's Sky, so a lot of developers are thinking like it's a low. It doesn't take much to program that into a game, but some people really like it, and it's one more thing that you can. I don't know. It's hard to explain what makes a game fun because of its depth and what is just complicated and annoying.
I don't know. Not for me. Not for me, not.
But in general, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. Far Cry 6 is really cool. I'm loving it. So big thumbs up still to FC6. But I'm not going to be playing it at all this coming week because I'm going to be too busy with What's Human coming out on Tuesday. What?
Chinny, have you got anything other than the sort of play my game bitch to talk about this week? Have you been playing anything? You've not got anything in the notes, so I don't know. That's why.
But maybe you didn't have time to put it in the notes.
Maybe that's why I'm asking.
No.
Okay. All right. In that case, I'll go on then. If you've nothing else to talk about.
Go ahead, Stu. Let us hear you. Go ahead, shoot.
So yeah, this morning I got cracking on with Alan Wake 2 Night Springs DLC. I thought I'll play some more of that. So I finished number one fan, which is obviously the waitress.
Oh yeah.
I'm your number one fan.
I'm your number one fan. Which is it's a blast. I'll be honest with you, right? It's not very long. It literally took less than an hour, really. It was less than an hour. I reckon probably 40 minutes tops. 30 to 40 minutes. It's very short. It's literally like one mission from the game, I guess. The great thing about it is, though, they overload you with so much ammo. It's kind of just a blast fest. Do you know what I mean? It's just like the shit out of everything that moves.
Yeah, you had me at shoot the shit out of everything that moves.
Yeah, and it's pretty gruesome. There's like dismemberment, there's heads blowing off, there's bodies getting stripped of flesh every time you shoot them with a shotgun. You know what I mean? It's kind of gruesome. Awesome. It's kind of fun. It's almost like they went, how over the top can we make this episode? Let's just make it as crazy as shit.
Sure.
And it culminates with like a boss fight with Scratch. So you have a bit of a boss fight with Scratch at the end of it. And then you just go and save Alan, and that's kind of it. It does end quite abruptly. It's like saved Alan, end of game kind of thing.
Okay.
But I liked it. It was a lot of fun.
Is this all in her head?
No, this is this is written by Alan Wake. It's like an episode of Night Springs. So he's written these little stories about the the Alan Wake universe within Night Springs. So that's the premise. So it's like 3 individual episodes. The shows.
So you're not playing as Alan then?
Not in any of these, no.
Okay.
No, not in any of
Gotcha.
them. So yeah, and it kind of gives you some interesting. I mean, the second episode I found more interesting than the first, to be honest, because this doesn't, with the lore of Alan Wake, this doesn't really have a lot of bearing on it. It's just, you know, the waitress from the shop or whatever, from the cafe, shooting the shit out of everybody, and she's his #1 fan, and that's kind of it, really. But the second episode is more interesting because it's the woman from Control.
Control.
Yeah, so I played him in the second episode, which is set in probably one of the levels I really didn't like playing through in the game. So I didn't, which is the Coffee World. So this is kind of another level in Coffee World, very similar to the level in the main game where you're having to find stuff in different parts of the theme park, and then go through that until you get to the end. And again, kind of interesting. Loads of ammo, loads of health packs. So they really don't. I think what they've kind of done is they want you to see the story in one go. They don't really want you to die much. You know, they want you to just experience it as a quick snippet of what goes on in Alan Wake world. And it was kind of interesting. You know, you meet the sheriff and some shit goes down. And I thought there was a bit of a revelation at the end of this that I didn't know from the Alan Wake universe. So the end, and I'm not going to spoil it because obviously there are people out there who probably want to play this. So I mean,
right.
I don't think it's a bit of a spoiler to say that, you know, you have a boss fight with Scratch and that's the end of the first, because it's kind of a bit throwaway. But I felt like this had more meaning in the lore of Alan Wake, because there's something that happens at the end of this episode, and I was like, I didn't know that. That's kind of.
Did it make you want to play the next one right away?
Oh yeah, well I did, but I had shit to do, so I couldn't. So I finished that.
Okay.
Then,
but you are interested in where the story goes next.
Yeah, and I think the last episode is God, what was the one where it was all live action and real? I can't remember what that was called.
Skibbity Toilet?
Quantum
Break. So I think the last episode's linked to Quantum Break, if I'm not mistaken. Because they're all part of this same universe. So like Control, Quantum Break, and Alan Wake are all in the same place setting. And obviously playing Alan Wake too, we see that Max Payne's in there as well. So they really do have this kind of everything's linked some way or another. So it is kind of interesting. And I like it for that. I love it for that. So I'm sort of looking forward to playing the last episode of this, which I guess isn't going to be very long. And the Lake House DLC when that comes out. And I think it was worth 12 quid. It was 12 quid. And I think so far, even just these 3 very small snippets on their own are probably worth the 12 quid. So I'm fine with that. So no biggie. No biggie. It's good. It's nice just to play some more because I love that game so much. Duke, back over to you, I guess.
Yeah, so back to me. So here's the thing, people. Look, Epic Games Store, they always got these games that are coming out free. And I got to feel a little weird for the developer who's like, I mean, they get a big boost, but I don't know if they're getting money. You know what I mean? Maybe Epic gives them money for the free games. I don't know. The point is, we can get free games. So the one that came out, I think 2 weeks ago, is called Freshly Frosted. And strangely enough, this is actually kind of like Humanity. It would have made more sense for me to talk about it last week, but we didn't have time. Anyway, so the point is, Freshly Frosted is a free game. I have no idea who made it, but it works kind of like Humanity in that you have a station that releases the donuts, right? And you need to get the donuts into the donut box. Okay. But after you do that first one, moving the conveyor belts all over, then they introduced frosting on the donut. You have to send the donut in front of the frosting station in order for have the frosting go, and then you send it into the box.
Minute.
Yes?
This is nothing like Humanity. This is like all those frigging games you play all the time, isn't it? Where you've got to keep adding stuff to get it to the right thing to get what you need in the outcome box, in the inbox, and.
It is a factory management game,
You're a
but
liar,
that's kind of what Humanity is.
No, it isn't.
Humanity's
getting people to the exit, which is fine with me.
Right, you have things moving by themselves, and
this adds loads of complications to it.
You have to tell the people where to go and where to turn in order to get them to the exit, which is basically what you're doing in this game. except along the way, you have to stop by the frosting station, and then you have to stop by the sprinkles station. You have to stop by the cherry station, and then you get to the exit. It's the same basic concept.
I feel like you're trying to trick me into playing it.
I'm not trying to trick you into playing it. I don't care at all if you play this or not. The point is, when I played this first, I thought, this is kind of cute. And then I played Humanity. I'm like, there is a pretty similar setup here, but whatever. It's not important how similar they are. They're very similar.
It looks like Flow.
Yeah, it does.
The game with the dots, the colored dots where you connect it? Yeah, in a way, sort of. But that's because you end up using every spot on the grid here, which, that's the secret to Flow as well. So anyway, it's cute, it's fun. It kind of wears off in terms of its charm after a few levels because it just gets a little more complicated each time, and then eventually you're like, okay, how am I going to get it to go past this? And you can't reverse them, right? Because they're constantly coming out. So you have to find the snake-like route to go around and then wrap it around the part you came from and all this other stuff. And I mean, whatever. The price was right, and I'm having fun with it. It's just, whatever. I shouldn't say anything bad about it because I have enjoyed it, but I don't think I'm going to play it anymore. I had my fun with it, and now I think I'm going to move on. The other thing that I thought was a little weird with this game is that it has a meta story, which is bizarre because it's just about moving donuts into a box. But it starts out with this young lady like, oh, life is so stressful. Sometimes I just like to sit down on the grass and look at the sky. What if there were a factory where they put donuts in boxes? And then that's how it begins. And it's like, and every level, I know. And then
what's
she's
that going to do with the sky?
Exactly. I have no idea. It means nothing. It's completely bizarre. It's obviously just shoehorned in after they made the game, but every level she's like, oh, you did that quickly. I wish my life were as easy to arrange as the donuts in this box. It's just like, stop. I don't really care about your stressful life, lady.
It would have made more sense if it had been like, my dad used to run a cake factory and I wanted to do that too. So I've started up a donut factory. I don't know. Something that makes sense.
I don't know. It was just like every time she starts talking about how stressful her life is, I'm like, Bender, man.
Shut the hell up!
Yeah.
So, whatever. It's fun. I can't see paying more than like $2 or $3 for this, but it's a cute game. The aesthetics are great. The other thing I really like about it is that when you I don't know if it does it when you're setting it up, but once you got it all set up and it's like sending the donuts through, the music and the actions of the machines are perfectly timed. And so it's very satisfying because the music is kind of like, and so the machines are, and it's a nice fusion of the way it looks and the way it sounds and the music. So yeah, it's nothing amazing. It's just kind of cute. And I had fun with it. So Freshly Frosted, it might still be on sale or giving away for free. And if it is, you should check it out.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can see you liking this because it is like Factorio and all those types of games.
It's a very, very basic form.
Yeah, it's a simplified,
donuts.
Version of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible in the later stages they add more elements, but I did each set of 10 stages is like a donut box. And I think I did 2 of those, and I'm pretty sure they didn't add any new elements. So I was just like, all right, I don't know that this is going anywhere.
Yeah, just bigger and more complex areas to fill in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Can I talk about something?
Yeah, of course you may.
Please.
Please, Mike. Talk about something.
I'll be very brief, but so I filmed something this week.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Return to story time.
No, well,
It's fine, go ahead.
As I was filming it, I was like, oh, I'm basically filming Factorio, right?
Dude.
So we filmed a company called I won't say the name, but they
Omni Consumer Products.
They make they don't make anything. Right, hold on, let me start again. Right,
this story's terrible so far.
So, Stu, you go to Aldi. Right.
Yeah.
This story sucks.
You go to Aldi.
I go to Aldi.
Your fruit and veg, they're in these trays, these green trays.
Yeah, like an apple tray.
And they collapse, they close, and they open. Well, those trays get sent to a warehouse in Doncaster. They get washed, wrapped up, and then put back on another lorry
Right. Okay.
for hygiene reasons, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I filmed a place. I'm gonna I'm just gonna put factory, and I've got a little video,
Oh, sweet.
and it's
Is the
just-
company called Wayland Yutani?
and it's just trays getting
Oh, yeah.
they're getting opened, closed,
Yeah, washed.
opened, washed, dried, wrapped,
Enclosed.
and then sorted by size. So
Wow.
you've got to have like, and I was like, oh, this whole thing is like, you've got to have. The reason what made me think of it was like the guy said the word hoppers, as in hoppers in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
god, this is like, this is basically. So
course.
you've got to
It's like all these video games are based on real things
So
that we
you-
just never see.
basically
usually.
the trays are flat. They go into a machine to get them opened, so they open, and then they get turned upside down, washed,
Yeah.
and then they get closed, turned back upside down,
Hop
closed.
it like it's hot. Hop it like it's
Then
hot.
they get sorted into different piles. So the computer takes a photo of the number and goes, right, you're in this pile, you're in this pile. Then it stacks them itself. Then they get dried, and then they get a pallet comes out of a different machine. They get, you know, the tablecloth thing. You know when you get like all the mugs on the table with the tablecloth,
Yeah.
and then you
yeah,
pull
yeah,
the
and pull it
tablecloth.
off.
It basically does that, but on a crate.
Nice.
And then the
Awesome.
crate goes along, wraps it up, spits it out, and a forklift. So the only manned
Yeah,
part
baby.
is a person has to sort of push it on, and a person has to
Yeah.
forklift it off, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
this is Factorio in real life.
Dude.
Yeah, I think Duke could have actually designed this factory, no problems.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
right.
and I haven't played this, but it made me really want to play Factorio.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
know.
Factorio. And they're
It's
coming out with
all-
one.
yeah.
They're coming out with an update to Factorio. They announced it this past week. It's coming out in October. That's how much hype they're pushing for it.
Wow.
And like the fans are losing their minds over it because it's called like Space Station. And
Oh, okay.
they're creating a space platform and then different alien planets that you go to.
Wow.
So and they're charging the same amount as the base game
Wow.
for this DLC. It's gonna be intense.
gonna be
I don't even
rough.
know if I'm gonna get it because
God,
I haven't
how-
played. I
how
feel
are you
like I
gonna
haven't
play
played
all
the
this
main
stuff?
game enough.
Ow.
Well, that's the thing is, I still have to play the regular Factorio again
Yeah.
to get my money's worth.
Anyway,
to really
that's-
understand the
that's-
mechanics of it.
That's all I wanted
So,
to say
yeah.
about that.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Duke, right? You know how you feel about Once Human, you know, and
Yes, I'm very excited. And in fact, I was thinking before you move
excited.
on, I was trying to think about what game I was ever this excited for because if it wasn't Fallout 4, it wasn't Rocket. I didn't know Rocket League when Rocket League dropped. I wasn't really excited about Skyrim. Like I had played Oblivion and it was good, but I wasn't thinking like Skyrim's the next amazing thing. It was Portal 2, I think. That really was the last time I was this
Yeah,
excited about a
super
game. That was
excited for a game.
2011. So
Yeah.
this is a major event for me. Once Human, Tuesday, the 9th of July, 2024. Go ahead, Stu. You were saying.
So, not this next fest that's just gone, but the one before it. I played a demo for a
Okay.
game called Until Then, which
Okay.
was a visual novel. It was Filipino. And
Uh-huh.
I remember Chini commented at the time, said it looked really cool, the art style. It's kind of done in a, I don't think it's really 8-bit. It's more like, I don't know, 16,
16-bit.
32-bit.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah,
It's
certainly
16,
pixelated.
it's 16-bit, but it has
It's got some
like
good art.
things like
It's got more shading than the
it's
16
got,
bit.
it's got
Yeah.
pull focus, so things are not in
Yeah.
focus, and which you wouldn't get on a 16-bit game.
Yeah, and the other thing that it's got,
The
I
depth of
guess,
field,
is,
as it's sometimes called.
yeah, when it's sort of zoomed out from stuff has edges. It's not like all like
Yes.
that. It's a bit more the characters.
Yes.
But I was
Subject
blown,
and object.
yeah, I was blown away with the demo. Thought the demo was amazing. Really cool, like story.
uh-huh.
Really cool characters.
Okay.
And I've got to say, full game is just as good, if not better.
Okay. So you've been playing this. This came out recently.
It came out this week, so I got it. I think it came out
Okay.
last Thursday or Friday before
Okay.
I went on holiday. So I downloaded it for the Steam Deck because obviously this is perfect for that to take away. And I think I've
Sure, you
played
don't
about.
have to actually do anything except occasionally
No.
hit the button.
I think I've played about 6-7 hours of it already,
Damn, that's a good sign.
and it's just great. The story's
Okay.
great. The characters are
So what's the
great.
basic premise? You're in a school or something?
So basically, you're a lad called Mark. The main character is a lad called Mark, who's in a school. He's a bit of a loser.
Okay.
Doesn't really do
I
very
can't
well.
relate to him.
Yeah, doesn't do very well in his subjects or his grades, or he slacks
He's a
all
stupid
the time.
loser. Gotcha.
He's
a lazy,
always-
stupid loser.
He is. He's always cramming. So he's cramming all the time. So he basically leaves.
He's not that lazy then.
Well, yeah, but he's only cramming because he leaves everything till the last minute to do it.
Okay.
So
well, he's too busy
basically-
catching up from the last time he was all.
Yeah,
Just
too
so I don't
busy
have a brain
lacking.
hemorrhage, what the fuck
Yeah.
is cramming?
So
Really?
cramming's when you try and get everything in a really short space of time.
It's
so
it's
you
short,
can,
basically, for cramming information into your head before the
yeah,
test.
as quickly as you can.
As quickly as you can.
But he does this with
Not the best way to learn.
No, he does this with
Yes.
everything. So he's like, "Oh, I've got 7 minutes left to learn this shit." But the dialogue is so realistic. It's again, we talked a lot about this with Still Wakes the Deep, with something being authentic. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And sort of the way that people actually talk in real life. I feel like this is the same. I mean, there's a lot of
There are a lot of stupid, lazy losers out there.
yeah, there are. There's a lot of realism to it. I mean, he swears like these kids, teenagers would. They don't talk in cliches.
Although, to be fair, if it was in my school district, nobody would be bothered cramming because you get 50% credit even if you don't do the work. So, that's a
there
little
you go.
unrealistic for my life, but
So
whatever.
that's fine.
Yeah. So they're
but
talking. They're not talking cliches. They curse.
There's curse, and it's kind of just. It's really hard to describe this because it sounds terrible. Because it's like not a lot happens. It's kind of just life. You know
Oh,
what I
man.
mean?
How do I buy this?
I know. It's kind of just.
You're a lazy loser, and not much
Yeah.
happens in your life.
Yeah, it's just life, his relationships with his friends, trying to
Okay.
get with girls, kind of stuff
Yeah.
teenagers do, I suppose. But what makes it interesting, and I suppose this is a hook, some weird shit's going down.
Oh, snap.
So there is something weird going on, and he kind of keeps getting deja vu. And he feels like, he ends up in situations where he feels like he's been there before or he's already experienced that thing already. So there's obviously something, I don't know whether it's necessarily supernatural, but there's definitely more to it than just his day-to-day
Something's
life.
happening.
And I'll be honest, the vibes I'm getting, and this is how good I'm thinking this game is so far, is the vibes I'm getting is to the moon. That kind of
Okay.
level of writing and realism and relationships. And I like all the characters are great. When like characters are really well drawn and you can really not necessarily always relate to them, but
Well, they're
they'll-
interesting and they're three-dimensional.
exactly, that's exactly it. They feel like real people. Do you know what I mean? And you can hear them say, even though it's all written, which Chinny would absolutely hate, because there's no voice acting at all. But even though it's all written words, you can almost hear them talking. Do you know what I mean? You make it. I've got voices in my head for each of the characters, what they might sound like.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I don't.
I
think
must
that
say, in terms of
happens
yeah,
that much in
yeah.
video games.
No, I hear you. I mean, it happens in Far Cry 6. Like, for instance, Giancarlo Esposito's character is evil.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting character because he's he just kills everybody. He's really
Yeah,
evil.
yeah,
No,
he's
I'm
evil.
kidding. That's the opposite of that.
Remember what you did in Breaking
but in-
Bad? Do that again.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Except not having a cool chicken spot and being very low key and, having the rage simmering beneath the surface. Just go ahead and let it all out. Anyway, this game, though, until tomorrow, there's a weird thing where the characters, when they're talking, they're doing that thing of like sprites in the old school games, and they're
Yeah,
just kind of like
bouncing all the
bobbing
time.
up and down, which
Yeah.
is a little weird because that's not very real. I can't remember students. of
No,
mine.
it is
Mr. P,
very
I have a
odd.
question. Boing, boing.
Oh,
but
well-
it's a mechanic for old
Well,
school.
it
games.
is. You say that, but then some of them have individual, like little animations that they do, which makes them them. Like, for instance, Mark, the main character's always got his hands in his pockets. Like, whenever he's
Because
talking,
he's playing with his nuts.
he maybe is. He's always got his hands in his pockets. But
He is a loser.
his best friend Kathy, who's the girl with the headphones on, she's quite
Yeah.
often kicking her leg. So she quite often, when you see her zoomed out, she's kicking her leg backwards,
Tapping
and
her
forwards.
foot right there. Yeah.
Or tapping her foot. She's always doing something with her
Yeah.
legs. If she's sat on her bed, she's swinging her legs backwards and forwards.
Okay.
So what's kind of interesting is each of these characters have got their own like quirks and stuff that you kind of notice. So it kind of makes them individual as well. But it is this weird. There is this weird bobbing up and down. Every character
It
does
is the
it,
weird
you know,
bobbing up and
constantly.
down,
But you kind of, it gives it. I think what it does, which makes it gives it a bit more interesting. If it was just these scenes, because there's a lot of talking. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people just talking to
Well,
each
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like it's just people talking, and
There's
that's
a lot
pretty
of that.
boring by itself.
But I
Yeah.
think if they were just stood static, you'd be just like looking at a static screen. But at least because
It would be like this show, except
Yeah,
without the video
exactly.
game footage. Yeah.
But I think because of the bobbing up and down, it actually detracts from the fact that it's just two people talking to each other, I suppose. But there's some great lighting effects. Everything just looks, it's a simple art style, but looks really effective. And I love all the social media stuff. I love all of the like texting each other. Again, so kind of realistic. There's a lot of like Facebook stuff on it where you can like stuff or read
There's
through
clearly a
stuff
lot of
that's going
attention to
on.
detail. Yeah.
Well, that's the most unrealistic thing you said is that young people are on Facebook.
Well, not the version of whatever social
It's not
media
actually
platform.
Facebook. It's Gadzorp.
Yeah, it is. And oh my god, I nearly forgot. There's a
Oh,
part-
God.
Oh my god, this was so brilliant. So there's a part in the game where he's like at home bored and he doesn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah.
So you try all sorts of things. So you watch the telly for a bit and you like get bored of that, and then you do this, you get bored of that, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'll play some video games, right? And he's like,
Oh, game within a game.
he went, oh, I bought all these games in a sale and I've never played them. So I'm like, well, that's realistic. We all do that shit.
It is realistic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he's going through all these games that he bought, and he's like, oh, that was all right. Oh, I'll play this one now. And it's bloody Doki Doki Literature Club. He's playing a version
Oh my
of that.
God.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant.
Careful,
And,
she's about to get killed.
No, well, this is what's brilliant, right? And he's like,
Oh my God.
no, this is what's so good about it. And obviously, unless you play the game, you wouldn't get the joke, right? And it's
Yeah.
called something like Curry Literature Club. So they obviously name it something
Well, unless
else.
you know the name of the game. You
But
wouldn't
it has
get
the
joke,
name of
yeah.
all the characters. It's quite clearly it, right? And he's
Yes,
like,
right.
oh, I'll play this for a bit. Oh, I'd definitely date the girl with the ponytail or whatever, right? And then it's like so many like later, right? And he's like, and his face is like, oh, I'm not playing this anymore, and turns it off. And I'm like, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been there,
brilliant.
dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Gadzorp, I
brilliant.
found the sound clip.
I use Gadzorp.
Great.
There you go.
So yeah,
Should I play the sound clip, Chinny?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh yeah, here we go.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
Correct. So yeah, I'll be honest, right? Until then, so far, could be one of my top games of the year. People. So
God damn! Every week you talk about this game that nobody else has
I know.
played. It's my top game of the year.
It could be. It could be in
Oh
there
my
because
God.
Damn, that's
It
intense.
could be on a par so far. We've to the moon. I'm
This is
loving it.
Stu's. This is
Wow.
Stu's breakdown of his favorite games of the year. It's like, oh my god, they stand around and talk and do nothing for ages.
I know, but
It's not that they do nothing, Chinny. They do this.
Yeah, they bounce up and
Do
down.
you know what though? Do you know what this game does so well? It's
Bouncing?
Nothing.
no. I want to know what's
Talking?
I want to know what's happening next with the relationships with what else.
Well,
going
that's
on
the sign
this
of a good
movie.
story, sure.
And it's like a book. I feel like I am reading a really good book.
Well, yeah.
I want to know what's
okay.
going to happen to them. I'm invested
right.
in these characters. I love them all. Like they're such great
Cool.
characters, and they've all got shit going on, and they've all got faults, and I just think it's great. I love it.
Well, that's not
Absolutely love
realistic.
this.
Not everybody has faults. I don't.
Well, yeah, sure you don't.
Except I bounce too
Uh,
much.
Yeah, you don't bounce as much as he does. Look, in this scene,
Yeah.
by the way, he's not bouncing. Can I
He
just
is. His
note
head's
that?
That's
bobbing
true.
up
He's
and
No,
not.
he's
down.
but he's
moving his
blinking
head.
over and over.
He's
and
moving
his
his
clock
head up
is
and down.
flashing.
But he's not
Yes, he
bouncing.
is.
I think that's
All
cool,
right.
though. Yeah, I love this
Eh,
guy.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe-
Enough with,
maybe
like,
they've
we're gonna
all
start
got-
analyzing what how much he's
Maybe
blinking.
they've all got like heart problems and they just breathe.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe, but it's great. It's
He's got
great.
some
Such a good game.
congenital condition where his brain doesn't work right. He's
Neurogenital?
just,
What the hell are you talking
congenital.
about?
I was trying to say congenital, yes, and it does have that other word in it.
What, you think he's
Yeah,
got-
get it? 'Cause
So
it's
wait a
got-
minute, what you're saying is he's got his brains in his balls? Is that what you said? Neurogenital? Is that what that means?
I think this game
I
is
know,
full of
right? 'Cause it's another word.
congenitals.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know?
So do you do?
All
Anyway.
right. Anything else about Until Tomorrow?
No, it's brilliant. Until then, by
Okay.
the way, don't listen to
Right.
me. Until then, if you want to look it
Till
up.
then.
After then.
So good.
Then.
Okay. So am I going next, or are we doing the play my game?
Shall we leave that till the end? Seeing it's the only thing that cheese.
Sure.
Well, we don't know.
I
who's
got one
played
more
that,
game to
be
talk
fair.
about then.
No.
It's
don't know who's
fine.
played
It
that.
doesn't matter. So last week I talked about the Zachtronic Solitaire collection, and I was said that I was on a hunt for other solitaire games. And Andy on Twitter said this after I had realized it. So thank you, Andy. I appreciate you saying it. Shout out to Andy. Microsoft has a solitaire collection based on their solitaire games from way back in the day. I don't remember if it started out in Windows 95 or Windows 3 or whatever, but they put a solitaire game on everybody's PC way back in the day. And they've continued to expand it. So now they have a solitaire collection. It's on Game Pass, but I've been playing it on my phone. And the bullshit thing about it is it still has ads. And it's like, come on, Microsoft, really? You need more money? You don't have enough goddamn money yet, Microsoft? You need to get ad revenue from this goddamn solitaire game? Give me a break.
What sort of capitalist would they be if they didn't? What's the matter with you?
Capitalists that have already made $700 billion on
No,
fucking monopolies and operating
as
systems and the greatest word processor, the most popular word processor ever used in human history, and 1,000 other platforms that they just keep raking cash in. Microsoft's not hurting for dough. This can't be more than 0.00001% of their ad revenue, period.
I've got one word for you, dude.
Anyway.
I've got one word for you, dude. Shareholders. Shareholders,
Of course, I know, but I would say as a customer, as a loyal gamer, maybe they could throw me a bone once in a while and say,
Everything's
you know
an
what,
opportunity.
we've extracted enough revenue from this poor sucker. We'll give him a fucking solitaire game for free.
Nope.
Anyway, the point is, I keep playing it because it's really good. It's got 5 different kinds of solitaire on it. Klondike is your standard solitaire most people are familiar with. Free Cell I talked about last week. There was one version called Spider, which I had never played before. Y'all ever played Spider Solitaire?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't think I've played
heard
it.
of it. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So Spider's interesting because it's just the spades cards, and there's I think like 5 or 6 sets of them, and so you can put any number on you, so you don't have to worry about color, and it's all just descending king through ace, and once you have a set of king through ace, you zip them up and you send them off to the side. So that's the whole game, right? And it's pretty straightforward. But the twist is when you get stuck, instead of just turning over 1 card or 3 cards, you have to put down 1 card at the bottom of each column. So you end up with, you're doing great, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, and then you end up with a 4 underneath there. And you're like, God damn it. So you have to move the 4 over here. And it's a new wrinkle, and it's just an interesting little twist on solitaire. So I'm actually having fun with Spider Solitaire. The other one is Triangle or Pyramid, and this is matching 2 cards to make 13. And it's only... Yeah, so it's again, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. And so king is 13 by itself. Queen plus an ace is 13, jack plus a 2 is 13, 10 plus a 3, etc. And so it's a little less thinking involved because you're just trying to figure out which 2 cards that are available on the screen can add up to 13. And then the other one, which I had never played before, but it was like exactly what I wanted. I mentioned that I really like Golf Solitaire, which is just find a card that's 1 up or 1 down from the one that you've got in front of you. That's what Tri-Peaks is. You have 3 little triangles made out of cards, and you're just going 1 up or 1 down.
Okay.
And you take 1 off of here, and it'll, you take 2 cards off of here, it turns off, you flip up the one beneath it. And you have a deck at the bottom that you flip over 1 at a time. So if it's, if it's an 8, you got to find either a 9 or a 7 on the board. And if you get it, and, and it's just, and then if you get the 7, then you find a 6 or an 8. And it's just, they're all really well done. They're beautiful games. They're really polished because it's Microsoft. You can choose a background that's like, in a card style that's like Minecraft. They have one for Fable, which is actually the best one because they're really nice designs. The ace is a button, for instance, and stuff like that. Yeah. So the Microsoft Solitaire Collection is awesome, and it's on Game Pass, so it's free. But if you play it on your phone like I do, you're going to have to watch not just ads. There's ads for like TikTok, and it's this guy earnestly talking about like, I can't believe how creative people are on this app called TikTok. Get it free today, and maybe I'll see you there. And it's like, dude, Everyone knows what TikTok is. Why are you so exuberant about TikTok? Just shut up, would you?
Still got to advertise though, man. Get that extra revenue. It's all about
So
that.
that's one of the ads that I have to keep seeing. And the other ad is like Mahjong. And it's like, okay, Mahjong Solitaire, it's fun. Okay. But in order to sell it, I guess it's aimed at older people. It's like, if you play this game for 15 minutes, your IQ is 150. If you play it for an hour, it's 200. And it's like, okay, first of all, there's no video game that correlates how long you play to what your fucking IQ is. That makes no sense. How is that convincing for anyone? So, and you got to just let it run and then you can hit the X to close out the ad. But it's just, come on, Microsoft.
Well, I guess that's how it is. How they make the money. We're talking about the money. Give me the money. Show me the money. That's
It
what
is
we want.
about making the money. Yep.
It is about making the money.
That is what the companies
Give us some money!
all about.
Exactly.
Yep. So anyway, and I've gotten, I think, 5 wins now on the Fortunes Foundation Solitaire game in the Zachtronics collection. It's the hardest Solitaire ever, but I've done pretty well with it. I'm getting the hang of it, I think. I don't think it's possible to win it every time you play, but I'm winning like once a day at this point. So I'm like, yeah.
You're going for the big challenge, I see. So don't give me
It's
no
the
that
most
easy,
rewarding.
Easy shit. Give me that challenge.
Sometimes you want the easy one, sometimes you want the challenging one.
The Dark Souls of Solitaire. Give me that. That's what you want. Right, okie doke. In that case, I guess we need to talk about Play My Game, bitch, for this. Bitch.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch!
Play my game. Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch!
Now, the game we played is called Robin Hood Sherwood Builders. And before we start talking about it, I got to say, Eddie Izzard is the OG talking about Robin Hood because he had a bit about it many years ago. And I just got a little 30-second sample.
Robin Hood is
here.
not true. Robin Hood is a myth. It's only based on bits of fact, little bits. Like Sherwood Forest existed, but Robin Hood was just some guy. It's called Bin or something, or Ribbon Hod, nutter who lived in a tree. Just shouted at people.
Thank you, Eddie Izzard, for that awesome bit about Robin Hood.
Yeah, this is true. Robin of Locksley, I think he was known as, wasn't he?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Robin of Locksley. I've been to Sherwood Forest, by the way. Have you ever been?
Ooh, go on.
No.
It's kind of an interesting place. They've got some very,
You hit
very...
with an arrow?
No, I didn't, actually. But they've got some really old oak trees there. So they've got some very, very old trees.
Why haven't I
one
been
of them,
before?
One of them, right? This is true. And I think it's enclosed now, but it wasn't when we went. But one of them's got a huge split in the bottom and you can walk through it. So
it's the Jane Eyre tree.
Yeah, so you walk through the hole in the bottom of the tree.
By Duke.
It's so wide.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
Correct. Yeah, so I've been to Sherwood Forest, so I know what I'm looking for when I'm playing this game because I know what, Sherwood Forest.
You're looking for a fun video game experience. No, I have to see if it's historically accurate.
Sherwood Forest looks like in real life. So
and if it's not exactly right,
The story is garbage.
Stu, that little tangent that you went on there about Sherwood Forest was by far the biggest waste of time I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's totally true.
You said, I've been to Sherwood Forest, so I know this game.
There's a tree that got split in half.
There is. I didn't see that tree, by the way. I was looking out for it. And that tree wasn't there. No, in fact,
you told the story was by far the worst part of the story.
Chinny, in fact, the biggest waste of time was playing this game.
It was, yeah, I agree with that.
It's garbage. It's not great.
I wouldn't call it garbage. I am going to give it a thumbs down. I mean, I am. Here's the thing. This is a very Polish game.
It's set in England.
No, it's made by Polish people.
It's set in England, but it's made by Poles. Yes. And for one thing, some of the tutorial screens are in Polish. So, hello, finish translating, guys.
Yeah, I had one that was it for the trader, and 2 bits were in English, and the next 2 bits were in Polish, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know what I'm doing now.
Work it out.
But even before we got to that, before I got to that though, I knew it was Polish because the screens are filled with text. It's tiny, and they keep pulling up screens to explain things to you. West European, British, American games, they'll walk you through the things that you're supposed to do. Polish games are like, here's 7 screens worth of explanations of shit. Motherfucker, walk me through it. I don't have time for reading all this
I
shit.
don't know if you got to this part in the tutorial, but like they ask you for your address, and they're going to post you an instruction book. Did you?
Is that that's not true?
No, it's not true. No.
Yeah,
I was going to say I couldn't believe it.
I just made that up right now.
Can I just say,
effect.
some of the dialogue is truly shocking.
It's so bad.
Like, they wanted, right, so Friar Tuck's telling you stuff, right? And this was a genuine line. He went, Little John had his shirt all cut up.
Well,
I was like, what?
Because you got chased by the sheriff.
Is that an injury?
No, he just had a really sexy night with another guy. The crazy part was, and I wrote down the way it should have been written and then the way it was actually written. The worst thing about the dialogue in this game is that it's so bloated. Again, video games, man, keep it moving. We got and this is a bigger point, right? It's not just me griping, which I love to do, but the bigger point is this. Look, once upon a time, you wanted to make sure that your game was awesome, right? It was really fun. Well, the boat sailed on that. Standing out because your game is fun is going to be really hard because there's a lot of fun games, okay? So some people are like, okay, this is going to be a compelling experience. Okay, if you can come up with that, great. This game obviously is not a compelling experience. It mixes crafting games with village management games. Okay, that's not compelling. It's fine, but it's not compelling. The point is, we're overwhelmed with games. We have an embarrassment of options. So in that sense, a lot of gamers are not going to want to spend an hour reading all this shit, sitting through all the dialogue and learning how to goddamn take a sip of water.
Yeah,
there's this whole
thing,
system
right?
with the water bottles and shit.
And it's like, you should go up to the well and it should be filled bottle. But it takes you into the menu, and I'm like, have I filled the bottle? I don't know whether I filled the bottle. Did I fill the bottle? I don't know.
No, we want to make it as complicated as possible.
Yeah, I was like,
it's fun to have water-filling mini-game. So at one point you go to Friar, and he's telling you how the sleeping system works, which again, go to bed, go to sleep. No, instead there's a fatigue system, and you can save it when you go to the bed or whatever. Okay, so you go to bed, you get to choose when you wake up, which is nice. I like that. I'm gonna wake up at dawn. I'm gonna wake up at noon. Okay, whatever. I come back. The line should have been, oh, you've slept. Good. Period. Right? That should be the line. Instead, I wrote it down. Oh, you've already had a rest? I'm always amazed at how quickly you managed to recover. Shut the fuck up. It's just about you saw that I slept.
I've got some notes about the game that we've been making. It needs more dialogue. More dialogue.
Can I just say, here's another thing that happened with me. I don't know whether you noticed this. So I spoke to Maid Marian. She was in like a cabbage patch for some reason or something. So I had a chat with her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick some herbs or something." I was like, "Yeah, okay then." And then I went and did something. Then I had to go and speak to Friar Tuck again. And my first line to Friar Tuck was, "Have you seen Maid Marian?" And I'm like, I talked to her like 2 seconds ago.
She's right there, dude. You just spoke to her.
I just spoke to her.
I have this amnesia problem.
Yeah, the character's very complex. He's got different sort of mental issues going on.
He's on another plane, and transcending the astral projection.
Then Friar Tuck makes a joke because I'm misogynistic, because he says something like, oh God, how did he say it? He said something like, oh, she's gone to help villagers because she likes doing that with her herbs and stuff. It's a good job you didn't put her in the kitchen like you planned to, or something like that. And he's like,
ridiculous.
You did more than steal to survive that, or something like that. I'm like, right, okay then.
As for the actual game mechanics, so you start out, it's very basic crafting. You're not actually punching trees. You do start out with an axe.
Yeah.
There's like a mini game. So when you swing the axe to hit the tree, there's a little indicator that you should hit it again, and it's trying to, you recover quickly, so you don't have to swing, hit. Swing, hit. Instead, you swing, hit, swing, hit, swing, hit, swing. Like it's about establishing a rhythm, which is, again, a little bit of innovation, which is fine. Rust's mini game for chopping is better. So, hey, Sherwood Builders, go look at how Rust does it and maybe do something like that, because yours ain't it, man.
Or delete the game and just do something else.
Or delete the game. I do like the fact that the resources glow. So you can't just chop down any tree you see. You got to go to find a pine, and they glow green when you have your axe equipped, which is kind of nice, because then you're not trying to hunt, spend forever trying to figure out which tree to chop down.
Fair enough.
You build a house for your villagers at one point, which is like up in a
I
tree
didn't
in a little
get
spiral staircase.
anywhere near as far as this, really.
I did, but the thing is, you build it and then you can climb up the staircase, but then you can't go in the house. It's just walls, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I guess it makes sense that that's not really a thing in the game, but on the other hand, if it's 5 steps to fill a goddamn water bottle, you'd think you'd let me into the fucking house, don't you think?
That you just
Maybe.
built.
I just built.
I missed the movie where he builds a bunch of houses. I've missed that movie.
Yeah.
What movie is
Yeah,
that?
no,
Is
that's
that,
a great movie.
Is that in
It was
Men in?
Robin Hood, Prince of Architects.
Is that Men in Tights where he does that?
No, it's men in aprons who are building things.
Do you know what's a shame? I think that this game had
The
a
whole
good
thing?
It had a good premise. I think the premise is
Yeah,
good.
I
It's
guess.
solid. It's like Robin Hood. Who doesn't want to play as Robin Hood shooting shit with a bow
Yeah,
and
but you
arrow?
know what? And that's the thing, is that a Robin Hood video game should be about robbing from the rich and giving to the poor.
Exactly.
But,
It
and
should
maybe
be
this
Assassin's
does happen
Creed.
here.
It should be Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it should be Assassin's Creed, but only class warfare. Ribbon Hod is all, and the combat, like when I went hunting for deer at one point, there was a dude up in a tree shooting at me like a bad guy, and I was like, oh, now it's on. So like we've traded arrows back and forth. I got him, and he was like, ah, and he died, and I was like, well, fuck me. How do I get to his body? I want to pillage his corpse.
Yeah,
but
where's his
he's
stuff?
up in a tree. Like he was up like on a platform, and I had no idea. There was no way.
No, there's no ladder, is there? I did the same.
No
There's no
ledge
ladder.
to jump. I was like, what? It's just gonna be
That
up there
guy
forever.
wasn't
That's
trying
so
to kill
stupid.
you. That guy was trying to ask for help. How to get down.
I'm just stuck up here.
Yeah.
It had a note. His arrow had a note on it that was like, "Please help
He's
me."
trying to get your attention with the arrow.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Can I ask you a question? Did you shoot a deer? Because those deers never stopped running around.
I did.
I'm like,
No, but that's why you have the slow motion thing.
I get that, but that's when I turned it off because I was like, I cannot be bothered.
I actually didn't have much trouble killing the deer. The hard part was getting the meat off of the deer, because I killed the deer. I went over to the deer and I was like, is there, because usually in games like Red Dead and others, you push a button to skin it or you cut it up. Nothing. And I was like, what the fuck? And I went looking online, show me how to get meat off the deer. And this dude is doing like a gameplay, and he's like shooting someone up in a tree. Like there's a bad guy shooting. He's like, okay, we're going to have to kill this dude. And oh, there's a deer. And I was fast forwarding it to the part where he cuts it open or whatever. And he just moved on. And it was like 15 out of 15 deer meat. And I was like, how did you get the meat? And then I slowed it down and I realized, first of all, there's a button to just get everything near you. Instead of having to identify each rock, you can just hold this button down. It's E on the PC, but it's different on the controller. And it'll just gather all the resources in that little area, herbs and sticks and whatever. And when you kill a deer, the meat just kind of pops off the deer in a little ball.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that, so I was looking for a way to actually
you
cut up.
If you had read page 468 of the instruction manual, you would know.
Exactly.
Why is this so difficult? Why?
Other things I thought, like voice actors were horrific. Like the voice acting is awful.
I don't even remember the voice acting.
Yeah, there's nothing redeeming.
Oh no,
about it.
yeah, like some of the cutscenes, it's mediocre.
Yeah, it's very terrible. Movement wasn't great. Movement felt clunky, so I didn't like that.
I didn't mind the movement that much. I mean, it
Combat
was a little
wasn't
clunky.
great. And the biggest thing
combat
is,
wasn't great.
it is not optimized for consoles in any way, shape,
that's the
or
other
form.
thing. Right. It also wasn't optimized for my PC. That fan was like, and I was like, really, for this?
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's
I mean
pretty.
in controls, it's still like a
Well, the
mouse
controls,
cursor
right,
on screen, etc. With a
Right.
controller.
Well, I found that too. Someone was on Reddit complaining to high heaven about, this is a piece of shit. It may be great on the PC, but no, it's not great on the PC either, dude.
I
You're not
read
missing
on
out
the
much, trust me.
specs on the website that you need a 4080 graphics card for the menu.
It's probably true.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably true.
So,
Yeah,
I wanted to like this.
I thought you would. I mean, I must admit, reading the synopsis, I'd have thought this is a Duke game, but it just
Again, this is the
not
thing.
well
Like for
executed, is it?
crafting, first of all, once human, like forget it. You're coming out at a bad time game. And then village management, like I don't. First person village management, I just don't think it's the way to go. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, it's in No Man's Sky. They have this whole settlement system that's basically the same thing as a village management game. So I can do it in Patron or, Kingdoms and Castles, or Banished is the OG village management game, the Sim City, if you want a modern version. There's like 100 medieval village management games that are a lot easier to play than this is. And the idea of, well, we're going to mix Banished with Minecraft or Rust or whatever, like it's an interesting idea, but it's not executed very well, because you could do either in a lot of other places and is really no benefit in mixing them, especially when every mechanic is 7 pages of screens you have to read in order to understand them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's not for me. It's a big thumbs down from me. Yeah.
Yep. It's a regretful thumbs down from me. Yeah.
And
I wanted to like it, but I just
anything else to add?
I dug a 10-foot hole, right?
Yeah.
And then I dug another 10 feet below that. And then I put my thumb down there. That's how far down this.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to
unanimous.
like it, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
No.
What do you think, listeners? Did you enjoy Robin Hood Sherwood Builders, or as Eddie Izzard says the name?
Ribbon-Hod.
Ribbon-Hod.
Ribbon-Hod is awful. I have a suggestion for next week's game.
Anything.
Go on.
Anything.
Now, I know you were after us playing My Time at Sandrock, but you've already played that, so I don't think it can qualify.
I haven't. I've been not playing it in order to not get ahead of y'all, but I'm not invested in like dying to play it.
Oh, I thought you'd played it already. I thought you'd already played this at some point in the past. Oh, okay.
I played My Time at Portia, which is the prequel.
Okay.
But if you have something else, I'm not going to play My Time at Sandrock this week because I'm going to be playing Once Human this week. So
fair enough. What about Journey to Savage Planet? I believe this has been on Game Pass before and it's been re-added.
Sure, Journey to Savage Planet. I'm adding it to the show notes now. Everybody out there, play it. Tell us what you think. Send us a speak pipe.
Yes.
There you go. It's Journey.
Jenny's dying of excitement.
What
kind of game is it, Stu?
I'm so
I do like
tired.
the title. It's called Journey to Savage Planet Employee of the Month.
Okay.
What kind of game is it?
It's a two-op.
Two-up?
It's a play alone or two-person. Oh, it's apparently a hilarious first-person adventure game. Journey to Savage Planet, fully optimized on new hardware and new cinematics. You'll be sent to a distant alien world by your semi-competent employee, Kindred Aerospace, with the aim of finding a new
game
home.
is it?
First-person shooter.
I don't know. It's a first-person.
A first-person shooter. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's first-person shooter. It
Okay.
sounds all right.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
All right.
Let's give it a
Sure.
go. Let's give it a go.
Play it, people. See what you think. Tell us what we think.
it, people.
Came out in 2020. This is an older game.
Yeah,
that's
it is.
okay.
Old.
Maybe it's a classic.
Maybe it's better now. It's been optimized.
Not everything can be the latest and most interesting technology like Gadsorp.
I use Gadsorp.
Exactly. Okay, let's do. Is that it for everything we've played? Have you got anything else?
That's
Duke?
all my games.
Yeah, and Chinny, you haven't got anything else.
I am
have you?
excited about the fact that Dead Rising's getting a remaster. That's all I
Yeah,
want
saw that. I did see that. But are they going to make it
Talking
any
about some
easier?
news?
Are they
No,
gonna make it
no,
easier?
no. It's going to be the same.
It's going to be just as bloody difficult.
They're going to have the
isn't it?
time restraint, everything.
We can
Great.
talk. Have you got some news, Duke? Have you got something to talk about?
I mean, the stuff I put up 100 years ago.
Well, I guess it's probably not current anymore, but you know.
It's not new. It's the olds, as Ricky Gervais once said.
Old
Let's
news.
move to emails. Is it emails then?
Now, we've got some emails, yes. We've got 2.
Okay. At some point, I mean, these stories don't go anywhere. They can be worth talking about at some point. We don't have to do it.
Whoa, that ruled.
So first email this evening is off Jason. Now, I'm assuming this was to do with the general election because he just sent title, "Hey Brits,
Hello.
did you have a fun at work day today?"
No.
And then his actual body of the email was, "America, fuck yeah." And that's it. I don't know what that means. I've no idea.
Well, it's July the 4th was our general
Oh,
election
yeah,
day.
well, yeah, that's why.
But it's also the day of Americans.
Yeah, you get a day off, don't you? Day off for American Independence Day.
So I imagine it's something to do with that.
Yeah. As it happens, he has literally this second just sent another one.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have got another email.
By the
off
way,
him.
just a technical problem. Duke has shat himself, so he can't talk
Has
right
he?
now. Yeah, he
That's
just
a shame.
sent
I
the
can talk.
chat.
I just can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh wait, now I can hear you.
we can.
Sorry, I'm back.
He's back.
Weird problems with my headphones. Yeah.
Weird.
Okay.
Do you
But I'm
know
back.
what's weird? That just happened to me as well because I thought that was an internet thing. It just went quiet. And then when I went into Zoom, I had to like change headset and then go back to it again. Then it was fine.
Well, I think that was totally independent of my thing, but whatever.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's all working
Anyway.
now, so let's keep
Yeah,
it
mine's
going.
same. Mine's same.
Back.
Oh shit, my audio. I stopped recording for some reason.
Some weird shit's going down. Well, how long ago did you stop recording? Dare I even
I
ask?
have probably when my mic thing cut out. So let's just keep going and
Are you recording
hopefully
now?
I didn't lose very much. I am recording now.
Yeah, let's hope
Great.
that's great. No problems.
Alright.
Yeah, so he just sends another email and he says, this, Mike Chin.
Hello.
Mike Chin.
Hi.
You had some strange takes on Uncharted 4. Doesn't elaborate, doesn't know what he's talking about. We don't know what he means. Yeah.
Strange takes, you know.
By the way, Stu, speaking of twisted ankles, I basically gave Duke the story idea of the century.
It was a good story idea. I'm not disinterested.
And then he says, bring the weird and shit, Stu, you're lagging behind again. Ah, well, you need to listen to this week because I am on it. I am back on it. Don't you
I'm bringing
worry.
sexy back. And
Don't
by
you
sexy, I
worry.
mean weird and shit.
Jason, that's it. That's his email. So I don't know what
Wow, it's a relatively short one.
Yeah, I don't know what his issue with your takes on Uncharted 4 were, to be honest. I can't really think of any reason he might have a...
Don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know. It was weird.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Thank you, Jason.
And the second email this evening is from a silent gamer, and he sent us a quiz, people. It's quiz time.
Oh, snap.
Get ready to answer
It's
questions.
time for the quiz. It's time for the quiz. We play the shitty sound clip when it's time for the quiz.
So we should do well in this, but I haven't played all of these, so maybe I won't. I don't know. But you two guys, maybe you will. Who knows?
What's the
And
subject?
it is a Gears of War quiz.
Ooh, I know jack shit about Gears of War universe.
Gears of
Cold
War
Train.
quiz. There you go.
There you go.
And he says, hi, Stu,
Named after that
Chinny,
jazz musician.
and
Sorry.
Duke. I am
Yes.
really excited for Gears of War E-Day. Can't wait. So here is a quiz.
Quiz,
Okay.
quiz,
There we
quiz,
go.
quiz, quiz, quiz,
Here
quiz,
is a
quiz.
Quiz.
Question 1
We're
of
ready.
5. Which of these is a weapon in Gears of War? Is
Okay.
it A, laser Gerwer? Laser Gerwer. Is it B, Lachman 556?
No, that's
What?
that's a real gun in Call of Duty, I think.
Yeah. Is it
Okay.
C, Lancer?
Yes.
Which I mean, we all know is
Yes.
the correct answer, hopefully. We're not that... we know Gears of War. We know our shit. Or is it D, Liberator AR-23? But the question here is, what are these others? So we know Lachman 556.
Right, that's the
from-
quiz within a quiz.
Yeah. I feel like Laser Gerwer must come from... What's a Nazi game?
Wolfenstein?
Wolfenstein. I feel that sounds like a Wolfenstein weapon. I
Yeah.
could be totally wrong, but I don't know. It just sounds like German, doesn't it? Laser Gerwer. I don't know.
What other Nazi games is there? Well, there's Call of
Don't know.
Duty. No, Wolfenstein's more Nazi, isn't it?
I guess. And then the other one's Liberator AR-23.
Well,
Liberator
that's
AR-23.
it came out. What's Helldivers 2? That's Helldivers 2. Liberator.
Ah, there
Oh,
you go.
yeah, that's right.
There you go. Well, I'm probably wrong about the Laser
Nice.
Gerwer, but who knows what it's from then.
Hmm.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Here we go. Ready?
Laser Gerwer is from Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus and
Booyah.
Youngblood.
Oh, snap.
Booyah.
Nice.
I did well there. I did well. I think I did
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Praise
I don't
yourself, even
often
though I
get
said
anything
Wolfenstein.
right. Oh, I couldn't think what it was called. All right, I'm old. You knew what I meant. Lachman 556.
He knew it. He just didn't know the name of it.
I just couldn't think what it was called. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, 2022,
Hey.
and Modern Warfare 3.
All right.
Lancer was the correct answer from Gears of War, and Liberator AR-23 is from Helldivers 2.
Damn, Chinny's 3
4
for 3.
out of 4, people. 4 out of 4. Okay, question 2 of 5. Which of these is a game mode in Gears of War? Zombies,
No.
terrorist hunt,
No.
firefight,
No.
or horde mode?
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
So what are the other ones from? Zombies is from Call of Duty, obviously.
Call of Duty
Correct.
Zombies. Terrorist hunt is...
Come on, you know this.
That's
Duke knows this.
Isn't that Counter Strike?
No.
Counter Strike?
No.
No.
Terrorist Hunt.
No.
Shit.
It's like it was in the old.
Is it a
version.
game I've played recently?
No, you haven't played the new one, but it was in the old versions of the game, and you love one of these old games.
Yeah, it does. I think I know what this is.
Rocket League?
Think early
I'm
360.
gonna kick myself.
Early 360.
Early 360.
Yeah.
First person and third person.
Oh, Rainbow Six Vegas.
Well, it's in the Rainbow Six series.
It's in the Siege now, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Siege.
Okay.
Firefight.
Do you know that one, Stu, Duke?
I don't think I do.
Mm-mm.
It's not
I mean,
a game that
there's
you.
a lot of games that have
there's
things
not
like
a game that you think has a horde mode, but it does. I think it was only in. I think it was only in Halo.
Not Grand Theft Auto.
It was in Halo Reach, and it was in
Oh,
Halo.
that's right.
Oh, I think it was in ODST as well. Firefight. Yeah. Bam.
Okay, let's go.
Bam.
And Zombies, of course, was in Call of Duty series. Terrorist Hunt Rainbow Six series. Firefight from the Halo series. And Horde mode from Gears of War.
What? 2 for 2? Batting a
Which is,
thousand.
can we just say, actually, we don't really talk about this very much, but following the original Horde mode in Gears of War, every fucking game that came out had a Horde mode. Do you remember?
Of course. When someone does something right, you copy it. That's the sensible thing to do. I'm amazed that nobody's copied Portal, or very few people have copied it. What's the other one that I was just thinking about recently?
Like not copying the Portal mechanic, but copying the Portal aesthetic
setup and play.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about aesthetic. Like the Portal mechanic is brilliant, and every game should have something like that in it.
I think the problem with that mechanic.
I would love a clone of Portal.
I feel like there's plagiarism, probably an issue there.
Well, how is copying Horde mode not plagiarism? How is every shooter that copied Call of Duty's basic setup not plagiarism?
Because you're not really copying the mechanics, are you? Because every shooter.
T.S. Eliot said it.
Yeah.
Wow. T.S. Eliot said something. I'm looking up the quote. Go ahead.
He's looking it up now. He's looking it up.
Right.
Okay, question 3 of 5. Which of these is a character in Gears of War? Is it A, Sergeant Major Avery Johnson?
No.
Yeah.
Is it B, Private Dizzy Walling? Is it C, Captain John McTavish?
No, that's Call of Duty. McTavish.
Is it
Call of Duty
D,
soap.
Staff Sergeant Matthew Baker?
It's either Baker or what was this? What
I
was
like
B?
this,
What
I
was
like
B?
this, 'cause this
What
is
was?
good.
Just stop talking about
Private-
the question. What was B?
I like this quiz.
Private Dizzy Walling. I feel like it's that. I feel like
There
that
is a
sounds
character called
right.
Dizzy in 3. So
Yeah,
I'll go
I feel
with
that sounds.
But I'm
I
sure
feel
there's
like
a
that
Baker
sounds
as well.
right.
I'm sure that I
I don't know whether they did have
They're
a
all
staff
named after
sergeant.
jazz people.
No,
Would
they
they
wouldn't
have
have a
it-
staff sergeant.
They
No.
wouldn't have a staff sergeant, would they?
It'd be
I don't think.
there's a character called Dizzy in 3. I think you play as
I
him
feel
in
like
3.
it is. I think Private Diddy Walling is the one. It just rings a bell. It just rings a bell. So that being the case, Sergeant Major Avery Johnson. Where's
He's
that?
it's Halo.
Oh, that's Halo. Okay. Captain John McTavish, as we've said, is Call of Duty. Staff Sergeant Matthew Baker. Then where's that
I
from?
don't have a clue. I ain't got a clue.
Is he Left 4 Dead?
Some
Is he the
army
dude with
game.
the
It's gonna be an
beret?
army game, isn't it? Army game.
Insurgency Sandstorm, perhaps, or Red Scorpion Rising, whatever that
That's
is.
as good a shout as
Battlefield?
any, I guess.
Front
It could be
lines.
Battlefield.
Front lines. Fuel of War.
Field of War. God,
Oh,
there's
that's
a
a classic.
game. There's an old game.
I don't know.
forever.
I have no idea. I'm guessing it's going to be
Go ahead.
it's going to be an army game with a story, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Is it not the Battlefield, the silly one? What was that called? The one where it's
No, that was
Bad
more
Company.
that was more modern. I'm sort of-
okay.
I feel like staff sergeants like isn't. I feel like that's an
Oh,
old.
Staff Sergeant's still a thing in the military.
I
too.
know.
it is.
I guess so. I just sort of,
Jarhead, they're yelling out, "Sorry, yes, Staff Sergeant."
the more
Okay.
the silly Battlefield was shit, so no one cares.
Yeah. So A was Sergeant Major Avery Johnson was Halo, as you rightly said. B, Private Dizzy Warlin was Gears of War 2 and 3.
He was in 2. I don't remember him in 2.
Two of them. Captain John McTavish is obviously Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Staff Sergeant Matthew Baker was from Brothers in Arms.
Wow.
Oh, Brothers in Arms.
Never played that, but
I played loads of that, but can't remember it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, question
So here's the
4
quote from T.S. Eliot. Sorry, hang on a second.
Oh, here we go.
T.S. Eliot said, 1920, The Sacred Wood, Essays on Poetry and Criticism. Immature poets imitate, mature poets steal. Bad poets deface what they take, and good poets make it into something better or at least something different. So everybody steals. The question is, how are you going to steal it?
Yeah, exactly. Question 4 of 5. Which of these is a vehicle? A vehicle. Vehicle. In Gears of War, is it A, Armadillo? Is it B, Wildebeest? Is it C, Bodhi? Or is it D, Mongoose?
I think it's Armadillo.
Armadillo.
You know, in Gears of War 1, that stupid fucking vehicle section?
Yeah, I fucking hated that.
Yeah, that's Armadillo. I think.
Everybody hates that section of that game. It's awful.
Yeah.
So, B,
So what are the other
Wildebeest.
ones, then?
Where's the Wildebeest from?
I don't
That's
know.
not Mass Effect, is it?
Wildebeest. No, it's a
Or
Mac-
Halo?
Mac-
Halo. Some of the Halo vehicles had
No,
dumbass
no,
names.
Halo was a warthog.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but I mean, Wildebeest, Warthog, those are pretty simple. I mean, it may have been a different vehicle in the Halo universe.
No, because the Halo
Well,
one.
then what is it then, smart guy?
I
Yeah,
don't
come
know.
on, smarty pants.
Because you said
What is it?
Mongoose is a Halo vehicle. That's another
Yeah,
one.
it
Isn't
is.
So
Yeah,
I think,
is it? Okay.
So I think he spent his Halo on that. If you know what I
I
mean.
gotcha.
What's Bodhi?
All right, then.
B-O-D-H-I.
Bodhi,
Bodhi.
I don't know. I ain't got a
It's
clue.
a tree in Buddhism.
I have
It
no
does sound
idea.
like a Buddhist type thing, that. Wildebeest,
Bodhi
is that
tree
from
that's-
one of the Far Cry games?
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Maybe.
Not a clue.
They
I'm
tend
not
to
a
have more
clue.
specific
I'll just,
names.
you know what? I'll just guess that one of those two. What are they?
Yeah.
Wildebeest and what?
Wildebeest and
Call of
Bodhi.
Duty.
Bodhi are from like GTA. What like they sound like GTA cars. I know both of
Could
them.
be.
Yeah,
Could
could
be.
be.
Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
So, Armadillo, as we pointed out, was Gears of War, multi-seated, six-wheeler, heavily armored personnel
4 out
carrier.
of 4, baby.
Using Gears, the vehicle you drive in the first game, the one with UV lights on to kill the krill, which is fucking shit. Wildebeest, Watch Dogs 2.
Oh, I was
Oh,
close
wow.
with
No wonder I
GTA.
don't know that.
4x4 Jeep.
Sort of
4x4
like
Jeep.
it's sort of
Are
like
you,
a
though?
GTA. Close.
And
GTA is
Bodhi, Mr. Mike Chin, you are absolutely correct. He's from Grand Theft Auto.
Ah, there you go.
5.
All I thought was like, what's a game with loads of cars?
Yeah.
GTA.
And he belongs to one of the main characters. You can guess
Wow.
which one it is.
Bodhi.
Franklin?
No.
No, he has like I forgot the name of his.
Oh, it's a 1 in 3, so we've
Michael?
only got to 50-50.
Michael
no.
doesn't really have a car.
No,
Look,
he doesn't.
Trevor,
So
Trevor,
who-
Trevor
That's
has
the
it?
other dude. The dude in the...
Trevor has the more. He has the truck, doesn't he? He has a
It's
truck.
a 2-door pickup
Oh,
truck, so
there
that's
you
what
go.
his car's called. So there you go. And Mongoose is obviously Halo small
That's the quad bike, yeah.
version
Yeah,
of the Warthog. So there
Oh,
you
yeah.
go.
I love the mongoose.
Okay.
Which
So
of
good.
these is the prison that Marcus was sentenced to go into in
Christ.
Gears of War?
Attica.
This is quite good because I have no idea. I'm looking at it. I feel like I know from looking at it which it might be, but who knows?
I don't know.
So is it NCR Correctional Facility?
Oh my god.
Is it Bolingbroke Penitentiary? Is it
NCR is Fallout New Vegas.
All right, okay, because that's what I thought it might be. So it obviously isn't.
California Republic.
Wow.
Is it Jacinto Maximum Security, or is it
Okay.
Ellsworth Federal Penitentiary?
Well, it wouldn't be a federal penitentiary.
Jacinto is the city in Gears of War.
Ooh, that must be it then. mustn't
You know the city
okay.
that's like
My
sunk.
name is Jacinta.
That's a
and
good question.
In
I like
Gears
that.
3, it all sinks. Jacinto City, it all sinks away, and that's
Okay.
Jacinto City.
Wow,
Then it
well
makes sense
done.
that that would be the
That's such a good way because I would have never.
I would-
got
I
it.
That was
was-
his shit.
If it wasn't called that, I would have struggled. To be fair, but I
Yeah,
remember
that's
Jacinto.
quite cool. Bolingbroke Penitentiary. Then, so what's that from?
Bolingbroke.
Bolingbroke Penitentiary or Bolingbroke.
I could not begin to guess.
Bolingbroke.
I know that one of the Saints Row games starts with you breaking out of a prison. Maybe it's Saints Row 2.
Saints Row. You say
Yeah, that's a good shout. Ellsworth Federal Penitentiary. That does ring a bell. Is that a Gears? Not Gears. GTA. Is that GTA? Ellsworth?
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
I don't remember ever being in a prison in GTA.
There is a prison in GTA 5.
There is.
In the heist missions, you break into it and stuff, but you never go into it as a story.
Okay.
But
I mean, for a game that has so much to do with crime, it's pretty surprising that there's.
Or is it Red Dead? Is it Red Dead? Because there's one where you have to break the dude out of a prison.
But
I do remember. Well, that's a jail though. That's not a prison.
Jail,
They didn't have prisons in the Old West.
Maybe not. It just rings a bell. It rings a bell for some reason.
In the Old West, they just locked them up.
Ring, perhaps?
Imagine that. You just go.
No, it's not Elden Ring.
In the Old West, like you're a sheriff, who's like, right, I'm going to go to my office desk where 4 prisoners are just going to watch me work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'm going to chain you to this tree because the jail isn't built yet.
Yeah.
I would never have got that.
What?
So, hey, well done, Duke. NCR Correctional Facility is in fact Fallout
Duke.
New Vegas.
New
so
California
well done.
Republic.
Bolingbroke Penitentiary.
What else did you want to discuss?
Is GTA 5, so that was
Alright.
from GTA.
Yeah. I never would have got
It
that.
was from GTA.
No.
Jacinto Maximum Security is, of course, Gears of War. And Ellsworth Federal Penitentiary, which I would never have got. I don't think any of us would, to be fair. Is from Splinter Cell Double Agent.
Fucking hell. Double Agent. Jesus
Double
Christ.
Agent. Not a game.
Definitely not.
That Double Agent was 2 games because when it was one of those games that were released on the previous consoles and then the new console.
Yes, it was.
So
it was like
released
a
on
next gen version.
But the weird thing about it was that the previous version, so the ones on the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, was a better game, and the one on the 360 was a completely different game. And everybody sort of slammed it because it was not as good. So they're 2 different games, even though they got the same name.
Yeah. So there you go.
Top
Thank
facts.
you. Top facts and a top quiz. I like the quiz. I like the quiz within a quiz.
I like the quiz, yeah.
Quiz within a quiz. I like it. It's great. It's a double quiz, like Double Agent. See what it is. So thank you so much for that, Silent Gamer. That's absolutely great. We have got one speak pipe to see us out before the shout out. So let's do that.
Let's do that.
Speak pipe. It's the way to leave a message for us.
Who's it from?
Okay.
Stu? Oh, who's it from, dude?
It's from Derek.
Saint
Not
Diesel.
Derek. It's from
Who's
not
Derek?
Derek. It's
Saint
not Derek.
Diesel.
So it's not Derek.
Saint D.
We shot Derek. Remember, we shot
Yeah, we
him.
did. We killed him.
Yeah,
He's
we
gone.
did.
Derek is 6 feet under.
Okay. Just above Chinny's thumbs down.
Actually, he's not that
this
far.
is
because I couldn't dig down that far. We couldn't dig that far. He's only a couple of feet.
Read all about me.
Hey, veteran gamers, it's Saint Diesel back again. I've been hearing a lot of good things recently about the autobiography of John Romero, and if anyone doesn't know John Romero, he's one of the creators of id Software, who produced the Doom series and various other games. I'm not really a reader of autobiographies, but the book's called Doom Guy, Life in First Person, and from all accounts, from what I've seen and read, it's a pretty interesting book, and it's apparently even been picked up for a possible movie treatment. I don't know how that would be done, but I got to thinking, is there a games creator, games author who I would be interested in reading an autobiography about? And when I say autobiography, I'm talking about a large A4 size hardback book, maybe lots of photographs, lots of illustrations, lots of stuff where maybe we didn't already know about, early stuff about games that maybe didn't come to release, and obviously lots of secrets regarding games that haven't already been released. And I got to thinking, well, Hideo Kojima, he's the creator of the Metal Gear series, and of course more other games recently. And of course, he had that infamous falling out with Konami, who apparently sacked him towards the end of development of Metal Gear Solid 5. So the question for you, have you got a games creator who you'd be interested in seeing a similar autobiography about? And that's it.
There you go.
Thanks,
So,
Saint Diesel.
I've got one. I have to say.
Go ahead.
I've got one I would like to read. It may exist already. I'm just gonna check to see if it existed. But the fucking
Is it about
crazy.
Batman?
No, the craziness that is Peter Molyneux. Oh, that guy is so fucking crazy. I'd love to know how his life went. You know what I mean?
Read
You know what I
biography
mean?
of that dude. Certainly
How
not an autobiography.
crazy.
I don't trust him to tell his own story. That's the thing. Some people, they should write an autobiography. They tend to be the ones who don't think their life is interesting enough. They're the ones who really should. Other people will probably write a book about them if they deserve it. And then some people should not be writing their own autobiography. And I think that Peter Molyneux is one of those. I might read a book about him by someone else because they would be objective, hopefully, and get to the good stories. He's just going to aggrandize himself. The reason the mountain game didn't blow everyone's minds is because blah, blah, blah. No, it's because it was stupid.
It was good. Blah, blah, blah. There you go.
So go ahead, Stu. What do you find out?
I feel no, there isn't. There's a feature film though, and I've never heard this. That's called a documentary called "From Bedrooms to Billions" that came out in 2014, which is a documentary about the British games industry and how sort of in the early 80s
That
everyone.
could be good.
It's got 4 out of 5 on IMDb, which is pretty good for them. You know what I mean?
To me.
No,
trust
IMDb
that
are
at
usually
all.
pretty harsh as critics, so they might be pretty good.
I'm more familiar with how the IMDb works, but I mean the
Oh,
IMDb.
you know what I
I'm sure is good
meant.
too.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, you should.
So there you go. From bedrooms.
No, but
to
there there's also a documentary film called Indie Game, the movie, which is really good. It was it followed the people who did. I mean, it's Jonathan Blow, the Super Meat Boy guys, and who was
the
the
Fez
third
guy,
person?
the Fez guy.
The Fez guy, right? The schmuck. God, I hate that guy. But the Super Meat Boy dudes are very interesting, and it's a very well made movie. So for whatever it's worth, if anybody out there hasn't seen Indie Game, the movie, it's definitely worth checking out.
So
But the
go.
best video game movie
I'll watch
ever
that.
is a documentary is King of Kong. I just love that movie so much. I've watched it
I love
20
it.
times.
I've
at
watched
least.
King of Kong a few times.
It's
It's
so
such a good movie. But
Anyway,
apparently,
the
here
actual
we go.
question is about autobiographies.
Here we
Yes,
go.
go on.
From Bedrooms to Billions is 150 minutes, man. It's like nearly 3 hours long.
Okay.
Documentary telling the remarkable true story of the British game industry from 1979 to the present day. So developments
That
in
could be
computer
good.
technology in the UK from the late 70s, 80s helped inspire a generation of small team enthusiasts, hobbyists and school kids and bedroom coders and entrepreneurs to make and release some truly classic games. I think that'd be good. I think it's worth a watch. So there you go. It is
It
on
could be,
Amazon,
yeah, I'm
apparently,
interested.
Amazon Prime. So there you go.
Okay. Well, hey, we still have that because we haven't gotten rid of it yet after watching
So
Fallout.
there you go.
There you go.
them,
Chinny,
yeah, it is
anybody
worth
you'd
a
want to
watch.
read their life story? Any game developers?
Cliffy B.
Ah, Cliffy B.
Could be good.
I feel
He's
like
another dick.
there'd be a lot of drugs and Lamborghinis in that one.
Yeah, what do you
I'll
think?
tell you what it would be. It would be At Two Babe by Mark Lehner.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
That's a good book, though.
I would watch a film about the what do you fucking call them? What are the names? The Hauser brothers, basically the guys that founded and made GTA, Rockstar.
Well,
Oh,
they
yeah,
they did make that one, didn't they? With God, what's he called? Who was in it? Out of Lord of the Rings.
Elijah Wood?
McKellen?
Elijah Wood, and apparently, well, I watched it. It was pretty shit.
Well, okay, a good one then.
Yeah, because it was it's pretty fucking terrible. It was like him going to the hood and getting with gangsters so he could do his GTA game authentically or something. It was awful.
Yeah.
And he like Dan Houser was like, "That is not what happened." It's
No,
like,
they
this
were
is
they were
not-
really big into American hip hop culture. They were
Yeah.
from Britain, and I think they wanted to be rappers basically, and like sort of rock
Interesting.
stars and stuff. And that's why the company's called Rockstars, because they wanted to be rock stars. And then,
Are they really like the energy drink?
Totally.
sure, we don't
Sure.
get Rockstar energy drinks here, so I don't know. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
so you got to play.
But you get the reference at least.
I'm guessing it's an energy drink.
Yeah, is
Another
it
reference
like-
by Duke that no one understands.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
it's like Red Bull or
Yes,
something
it's an
in a
energy
big
drink.
can.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a much bigger can. Yeah, exactly.
We got.
bigger
Is
can.
that like Monster drinks? So do you get Monster drinks?
Yeah.
Did it? Wait a
I've
minute.
never tasted either Monster or
Hold-
Rockstar, so I don't know.
Hold up a minute, Chinny. Hold
Hold
one
up a
fucking
minute.
minute. Did we
Uh-oh.
not 1 year at Eurogamer, weren't they giving away Rockstar energy drinks for free? And we were drinking loads of those horrible things.
Oh yeah, and then did we all have like a stroke at the same time?
Yeah, I had 2. I took 2 in my car because obviously I've been up most of the night for driving home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I put 2 in my car and I drank them both on the way home.
Drinking this shit.
They were vile. And I remember Chris MJW because I drank one and
I'm sure that was Rockstar.
I instantly got a headache.
Yeah, awful.
And I remember thinking, well, I'm never going to drink that again. That's awful. And Chris MJW says, I'm on my 4th one. And I'm like, what the fuck?
He was drinking loads of them, wasn't he? Oh, my God.
His insides must be just rotten.
I'm sure they were Rockstar. And they had all different flavours in different parts.
That might
of
have
the
been
place,
Rockstar, yeah. Maybe it's just a brand that hasn't really took off over here or something.
Yeah, horrible stuff.
Blah, 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 blah.
Anyway, thank you for that. Oh, by the way, we should say David Cage. You know,
You're just listing awful developers.
Yeah, right. Like, interesting people are not necessarily worth. I mean, maybe if there's an actual story there, but just because you're an obnoxious prick doesn't mean that I want to read a book about it.
This next guy I'm going to say is an obnoxious prick, but I think it would be an interesting film because he had such a rise in fame and then such a downfall. Which is Dennis Dyack, who made
Dennis Dyack, Too Human,
and stuff. And he had such such hype, and then he's just basically just
all came
falling
crashing
off.
down.
Yeah,
easy come, easy go, man.
Yeah,
I will say that there's a. First of all, we keep talking about movies. The original question was about a book, but whatever. There is a graphic novel called Tetris: The Games People Play by Box Brown, which is awesome. Everybody should read that. If you haven't read it, go to your library, find it on Alibris or wherever you buy used books on the internet over there, and check. It's a really good book, and it's a fascinating story. So
there you go.
Is that it? Shout outs.
That's it. Shout outs.
Okay.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Go on, Duke. Off you go.
Yeah, I will shout out. I think it was Andy on Twitter. I don't know if I made a thing. Yeah, my brother's texting me. Go away, brother. I don't use Twitter much these days, so I don't remember exactly where it was, but whatever. Yeah, shout outs. Chopper Kelly showed me some Nimbus X sequel love on Threads. I started working on it, people. I got like 20 pages written. It's going well so far. SLH and others were showing love on the Discord. Thank you very much. I was listening to a track from Natural MC. This guy got in touch with us. It must have been like 8 years ago, maybe 10. And he was like, yo, I love your show. I don't remember how he made contact with us. I think he might have sent an email. But anyway, he was like, I got this album. Blah, blah, blah. And I bought it. And the album was okay, but he had a song called Soft as Fur, which was actually pretty solid. And I put it on my regular rotation. I have it on my phone. And I listened to it the other day, and I was like, I wonder if that dude still listens. So if you're still listening, Natural MC, what up? In the studio. Yeah, anyway. Also, shout out to the guy who wrote the essay in this book, Critical Hits, Writers Playing Video Games, that I read recently. The essay is called Cathartic Warfare. His name is Jamil Jan Kochai. And it's all about him playing Call of Duty 4 and I think Modern Warfare 2. I don't remember exactly which games he's talking about, but his family is from Afghanistan. And the fact that he's an American, an Afghan American playing this game where he's an American soldier killing people in Afghanistan, it's an interesting perspective. It's not one that any of us, could really have. So I think that's the kind of content I was really hoping to get with this collection. And it's a really good essay. So again, Critical Hits, Writers Playing Video Games. It's a really good book. And yeah, shout out to him. Not that he'll ever hear me, but you never know.
There you go. Chinny, over to you.
I'm going to shout out Piltreed first.
What are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about?
Because he texted me today.
Got a clip of me.
He texted me today saying, Chinny, give me Robin Bongo's number. And I went, stop stalking him. Stop stalking him. It's not safe. But then I did know this because I checked Facebook and I realised that both of them were at the same place. And I was like, I wonder if they know that they're both at the same place. And then I got a text from Pilch. They went to Silverstone today.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Pilch texts me saying, have you got Bongo's number? Because he's here, but I just don't know how to find him. So I texted him his number and I said, hope you're having a great time. He's there with his daughter. His daughter apparently is Formula 1 mad. And
Yeah, so Millie's mad about it.
And Bongo and his son, I don't know, I think he's just with his son Josh, are also mad on it as well. So I hope they're having fun. I hope that you got to meet, and I played a little part in you lot meeting, and have a good time. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Well, as always, I'm going to shout out the people who took time to send us stuff in. So thank you to Derek. Thank you to A Silent Gamer. Keep them coming. We love the quizzes. We like the quiz within a quiz. Yeah. It's kind of cool. And obviously to Jason, who does send us stuff every week. And also, I feel like we need an update off Jacinta because we haven't heard what she thought about, the last email about the dating. The dating.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's going on with that?
Yeah, tell us what you thought. Who knows? Maybe she's in the midst of moving, and that's why she hasn't managed to send us an email.
There's another thing happening. Yes. No, I don't think she is in the middle of moving, but there is another story that at some point she's probably going to tell us.
Okay, so she's not on the way to, I was going to say Denmark. It's definitely not Denmark. To Cornwall. Or Devon. I think is where I got it mixed up. Anyway, so she's not on the way there, but you never know. You never know. Strange things have happened.
Know.
And that's kind of it. So thanks for listening as always. Thanks to everybody who tunes in every week and new listeners.
Yeah, we love you guys.
So thank you to everyone. Oh, and by the way, I've done some research for everyone, right? And if you do want to watch From Bedrooms to Billions, if you want to watch it on streaming in America or the UK, see, I don't differentiate. You can watch it in these places. It's on Apple TV, so it's on Apple TV Plus for free. So there you go.
I don't have Apple TVs.
So there you go. If you happen to want to watch it, that's where it is. I think I might watch it. I think I might give it a go.
Give it a try. So give us a full report next week.
I'll watch it. I'll tell you what I think. There you go.
Right. That's it, folks. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Good night. Much love.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Have a good night. All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Yeah.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home, watch TV, burning up slow moves of me.
Another episode done.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. There you go.
Lovely.
Right.
Sorry, I'm very tired. It's been quite a weekend.
It's a long day. Going to Stratford's a long.
No, we've been all weekend. So.
Oh, yeah, you're going to Stratford.
You need time to not be away from home.
But it's
Chinny's favourite place.
But the whole family has been, so it's not just me, Tara, and Rose.
It's a family.
It's also entertaining.
My mum and dad, Tara's brothers, Tara's cousins, their kids.
Holy crap!
Everyone. Busy day.
You need to not be around humans for a while.
So I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god! Right, in that case, I guess we'd better let you go and get some shut eye, Chinny, because you do look tired. He looks.
I am, and I'm gonna be up early.
Yep. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, and I'll speak. Oh, Chinny, we need to speak to you. Just remembered, I've already discussed this with Duke, but you weren't here at the time. There's a potential that the England might be in the European Cup final on Sunday, a week today, which kicks off at 8:00. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big footy fan, but I would like to watch it. So I'll be watching every other match.
Give
so
two.
Yeah, but I know you couldn't. The point, though.
You know what I was doing during the you know what I was doing during the England match yesterday? I was walking the baby around
taking a big
Stratford,
dump.
and I could hear all the crowds in the pubs going.
Millie said, right, there's a good chance he probably won't even get in the final, so it's probably a moot point.
That's true.
But Millie did say, well, Chinny will want to watch it as well. I'm like, he won't. He seriously will not be
Nope.
giving a shit. He won't
No
be bothered.
chance. There's no
And I
chance.
was right. You aren't bothered at all.
No chance.
So, point is, can we record on Monday if they happen to get in the final?
If
is
they
what I was
get in the
asking.
final, I'm happy to record on Monday. How about you, Duke? So-
I don't think
And
Monday would be
Chinny
a
and
problem
Duke
for
can
me.
do the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So Duke
assume
can do the
yes.
same time.
That's fine.
So.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So that's a deal. If
All
you
right,
don't, obviously
friends.
just same time as normal on
When are
Sunday.
they playing?
when's
If
the
you do
semi-final?
When's the semi-final? Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Wednesday night. So it's Wednesday night. the
Okay,
semi.
so we'll know by Thursday whether we're doing Monday or just
We'll know by Thursday. Yeah. So I'll
Okay.
well,
That's gonna
I'll
ruin.
message you, Duke, and let you know.
What time are
Oh,
they
I'll
playing?
see it on the socials.
What time are they playing on Wednesday? Because that might ruin my poker night. What
Just a
time?
minute. I have no idea.
I'm just gonna type European Cup semifinal
on,
Wednesday
you do
2
it.
p.m.
2 p.m.
Netherlands versus
2 p.m.
England Wednesday July
Oh.
10th at 2 p.m.
Okay, that won't ruin.
Oh,
my
that's
2
poker.
p.m. our time. Well, is that my time or?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'll,
It would probably be 2 p.m.
That's
I'll
what-
tell
your
you.
time.
Just a minute. I can tell you. Just a minute. I'll just go on my TV and have a look.
TV. What fucking
No, I
year is
will
this?
tell you.
Win probability 37% England, 30% Netherlands. That's interesting. Thank you, Google.
But what's the other? What's the other then? A draw? There's got to be someone winning.
Someone's gonna win.
What does that even mean? Right. Okay.
Well, no, extra time is the 33% that's remaining.
Yeah, that's well, England. That's all England can do at the moment. It goes extra time.
God's sake, right, hold up. Now then, is it going to be on BBC?
It's on at 8
West
o'clock.
York?
It's Stu. It's on at 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's 8
Ah,
o'clock.
yeah, it's
so
almost
it's
kicking off
2 o'clock.
time.
They Google adjusts it from my time zone. That's weird.
Weird.
Yeah, because Google
But
does shit like
thoughtful.
that.
Very thoughtful, dude. Just in case you wanted to watch it.
I guess. I just wish that. I mean, it's. I don't know. I guess a lot of Americans don't do international stuff, but I wish there was some indication, like 2 p.m. Central Time U.S. Like if you go to the UEFA.com website, it says 10th July 2100 CET. It's like, okay, thank you. That helps me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to
Oh,
fuck
it's
up
in
your poker
Dortmund.
night.
It's
out.
That's gonna
Dortmund.
fuck up my poker, isn't it? That,
Germany.
Because
Sorry.
the poker starts
Damn,
at
this is the
8 o'clock, and all the
footage
everybody's
is
gonna be like,
fucking you up. It's
I
fuck up
wanna
your
watch the
podcast.
match. I wanna watch the match.
I'm gonna be playing FIFA while I watch it.
Oh God, I wanna-
Sorry, Chitty. It's going to fuck everything up.
Bloody Hurricane.
Sorry, Chinny.
Bloody Hurricane. He's injured. He should be playing Hurricane. Why we got a left back who's right-footed? What the fuck? What's Gary
You
Neville
seem to
playing
know a lot
at?
about it if you don't care.
What's Southgate playing at? Bloody Southgate.
He knows the people he plays poker with.
Because, Stu, you can't escape it. It's fucking everywhere.
Is that what they're talking about at work all the time, is it?
Like my brother-in-law's work, everyone.
Brothers-in-law.
Brother-in-laws. There's multiple laws, dude.
There's a guy named William Sapphire who writes about the language, and the Onion had a headline. He goes, "Everyone started spitting on him when he went into a Burger King and ordered 2 Whoppers Junior." Motherfucker, shut the fuck up.
I could have sworn,
Whopper
Duke.
Juniors.
I could have sworn, Duke, that earlier you said the Duchess was going for a hair did.
To get her hair did, yeah, it's
Yeah.
idiomatic.
No,
that's
that-
a
yeah, well,
that's a way
yeah.
of saying it in the world of hip hop.
That's right.
Well,
Because
and on 30 Rock.
because
It
Missy.
doesn't mean it's good grammar, though,
No,
Duke,
yeah,
does it?
but Missy Elliott says it in a rap song, so that's how I know it as well. Get your
Yeah.
hair did.
Right, it's
get
a common
pedicure.
expression.
It's an
It's a
expression.
hair
That's
done.
the
You get your
idiomatic
hair
thing.
done, not
Yeah,
a hair
but
did.
Stu, it's like saying y'all. It's like an expression. It's
Yeah.
like it's not really like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
grammatical error. It's an
Well,
expression.
Idiomatic things are, I mean, because there's prescriptive grammar, what's in the books, and then there's descriptive grammar. And the reason I made the point about brothers-in-law is because that's what's technically correct, but it sounds idiotic. Nobody talks like that. So the only reason I corrected him is to make a joke about how silly it is to say it the quote-unquote correct way.
No,
Okay.
well, no, but they are married multiple times because it's that kind of.
Ah,
so,
nice.
so, it's,
So
so there's
they're,
so there's many laws.
They're Mormon then, okay.
Yeah, so it's brothers-in-laws.
Yeah.
Brothers-in-laws.
Yeah,
Which is,
and if they
I like that.
sit in like little drawers, it's brothers-in-laws in drawers. Through doors.
and then you talk about their mandibles, then you're talking about the brothers-in-laws in drawers, jaws.
Hey, by the way, when I've just been seeing all the Patreon scrolling,
Oh,
Yes.
who was it? I just saw that came up, and I was like, God, what happened to him? The farmer.
My
Well, I
brother-in-law.
said he were a farmer. He obviously wasn't a farmer. From Yorkshire. God, what were he called?
What are you?
Fred, Michael, Coltrane,
No, it was a minute. It'll come up in a minute.
Elliot,
Not
Tidoost.
Anthony Humpage. No, not him. Not Matt,
Humpage.
not Matt Bond.
Was it Matt Bond?
Not Seth McNitt. No, it wasn't
Seth
him.
McNitt. He's a farmer.
James
The Duchess, she's a
Alderman.
farmer.
No, not him. Not Sean Thiel. We know him. He's from Australia.
God help anybody who's listening to
I
this.
know.
We're just reading out
Hey.
names as they scroll across.
Hey,
The
they're all getting a shout out though. Maybe we
Antonio
should do that.
Phillips. He's a
No,
farmer.
not Declan
He
McCluskey.
farms content.
Mark, not Mark. Come, what's he called? I can't believe I can't remember his name now. He's gone past.
Write
Lewis.
it down when it goes
Lewis,
past.
it's Lewis. He's not come on yet, but Lewis. What happened to Lewis?
But you remembered.
Yeah, I
Yeah, what
remember.
did happen to Lewis?
What happened to Lewis? I've not heard of him in ages. You send us speak pipes, emails. Where did Lewis
Yeah,
go?
come on, Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis. Hey, do you even still listen?
Where did you go? Where are you now?
So there you go. Where's Lewis? I don't know. Maybe he still listens. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe,
There
but
you go.
he'll like be old now and stuff, won't he? He'll be another one like Antonio. Like,
90.
When he started listening, he was
He
like
was on a
15,
spaceship. So time's relative. Yeah.
14, and now he'll be about 27 or something.
Yeah.
That's.
By the way, this chain I'm wearing, this is ugly ass chain. Somebody left this in my classroom, and I put it in the lost and found for a month, and nobody claimed it. So now I just wear it randomly as a lark.
I
Like,
did.
it
I
doesn't mean
did.
anything.
I did see
Yeah,
it, dude.
I sort of spotted it as well. Like, what is
and
that?
I wasn't comfortable with it.
No.
But
It
then,
looks kind of douchey,
then,
but like
but
I just
then-
wear it to see if anybody's gonna say anything.
But then I thought, Duke always wears something, which I'm sort of correct here. Always wears something with meaning. There is
It's,
never.
I never wear things for no reason.
There's never like a I just threw it on. There's always sort of funny,
Yeah.
and that sort of is the story with that. But that's the kind of the point. Is
Yeah.
like I'm throwing it, I'm putting
Right.
it on ironically.
Yeah.
To sort of
Sure,
see if
sure, sure.
anybody. So
Can
I
I
didn't
ask
fall
you,
for
is
it.
it-
I didn't.
Is
fall
there a
for it,
plug
dude.
on the end of it? Is there a plug?
It looks
Yeah.
like
A plug?
that you
Is
put
there
you,
a plug?
you block
Yes.
your bath with it or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. I thought you meant like an electrical plug. I'm like, what are you talking
No,
about?
like a
Yeah, it
bath
does kind
plug.
of look like the chain for a bath plug. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Is there a butt
Yeah.
plug on the end of it?
Only built
Yeah,
for Cuban
that would be
links.
weird.
Yeah.
That would be weird if there was a butt plug on it.
Yeah, it would be weird if you
Anyway.
claimed it from lost property at a school. That would be very weird.
Yeah, it
Right
would.
in the butt. Right in the butt.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Right, on that note, I will leave
On
you
that
guys to
note,
it.
I
And
don't-
I'd like to
I
see
don't-
you.
Duke,
Well,
before I go,
well,
I don't
well,
hate
well.
the chain. I
Yes.
don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. It's not me. You know what
It's
I mean?
not
Like
you
it's
at
so
all.
No, it
incongruous for
kind
me.
of
It's just-
suits you. It kind of
Yeah.
suits you.
So
if
that
I'm
makes you
being
look a bit
honest.
more hip hop.
Yeah, it does.
It does make me look a bit more hip hop. It's the type of thing like I would never buy it, but like since I found it, like it also has a tiny little story. Like someone left it in my classroom.
did you do that to the Duchess? Did you wear it in front of the Duchess and say, "What the fuck are you wearing"?
Yeah.
it's
I
like
wore it
one
home
is
from
going
school
on.
one day, and she was like, "What is that?" Like, someone left it in my classroom.
It's like, why do you look like such an idiot?
Well, she says that every day.
Yeah, you don't need a chain for that.
Yeah, she did. Right, I will see you guys either Sunday or Monday.
right, peace out, G.
depending on Whether
Yeah.
England
God.
are shit or shitter.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go.
Bye
Right, I'll
bye.
see